to Sunday Night Baseball on Peacock, presented by Capital One. The home of the Tigers since 2000, when they hopped over from Old Tiger Stadium, and two World Series combatants 3 times in their history, 2 anchor franchises, the Cardinals and the Tigers, as Detroit looks for a sweep in the series. So glad to have you along once again. Jason Benetti with 2 guys who know their teams as well as anybody. 2 guys that played in the World Series. Brad Thompson, former pitcher for the Cardinals. Andy Dirks, former Tigers outfielder. And we'll start with you, Andy. This Tigers offense had 1 home run in the opening road trip and then suddenly 4 yesterday.
Yeah, there's 2 reasons. One, they start on the West Coast. You start on the road, you're not at home. They get back to home, they feel very comfortable in this ballpark, in front of your home fans, in your own clubhouse. Also, they hit a lot of balls hard that didn't leave the yard. Colt Keith had a couple of the hardest hit balls in all of baseball that didn't leave on the road trip. Yesterday, 3 oppo bombs, 1 pole side bomb. They're looking to do it again today.
Why are you trying to make Brad smile at that? His team got beat by those oppo bombs. Look, Dexter was talking about it in the pregame, Brad. There's so much young talent in Major League Baseball, and a ton of it in this Cardinals lineup.
No, it really is. Look, it's the 2nd youngest group of position players in all of baseball. This team is young, they're energetic, they're ready to go out there, improve what they have for the future. Chaim Bloom, president of baseball operations, was busy this offseason, but the kids are putting it all on the line. And young J.J. Weatherholt leading things off, he's ready to put on a show.
He was supposed to face 40-something Justin Verlander, who went on the IL yesterday. So the Tigers called up from AAA Kader Montero, who pitched for them in the postseason last year, and a guy that really could have made this ball club. And for Montero, we'll check in with Adam Ottavino, who's cozy down the left field line. Where do your eyes go tonight with Montero, Adam?
AJ talked a little bit in our meeting about Montero pitching with a lot of emotion. That's kind of where my head goes right away here. This is a big opportunity for him. He's sick of being that depth starter, the 6th starter. He wants to put the foot down here. I'm one of the guys in this rotation. He's come in this year with more velocity he showed in spring training. He pitches off 2 fastballs, a 4-seamer and a sinker. Also mixes in a curveball, slider, and changeup. Threw a few cutters as well in spring training. We'll see if that comes into play today. But the bottom line for him is he needs to miss more bats. He does a great job competing in the zone, but if he can add some strikeouts to his game, he can make the leap this season.
And he will face that young talent at the top of the card very quickly. Starting lineup for the Cardinal, presented by Capital One. St. Louis goes with this lineup, including Weatherholt at the top of the card. Very quickly got his first Major League home run. Alec Burleson, a pro hitter in the 3 spot. Some speed in this lineup, certainly, Brad, and it's really catered to defense and kind of creating runs, yeah?
Yeah, look, they're going to have to do the little things right as a young offense. They don't have thump all the way through this lineup, so you're right. Look, they're going to try to get on base. They are going to press things when they're on there, and they're going to trust their young guys to take some good at-bats.
You see the young guy for the Tigers, a 21-year-old Kevin McGonigal. Andy Dirks, he's part of this Tigers defense. What stands out for you defensively for Detroit?
The defense has been really, really good up until last year even. The outfield defense is spectacular, and you'll see them mix and match players throughout the course of this game. Infield defense this series is really good. Lots of double plays, and they have to play that way to beat this Cardinals team.
High-scoring game yesterday, 11-6. That didn't quite get to the finish line, and we are underway here on Sunday Night Baseball. And a pleasure to have you along for the ride once again. But J.J. Weatherholt, who Ollie Marmol told us before the game has just always carried himself in such a confident, not cocky fashion. What have you seen from his demeanor, Brad?
He just belongs, and that is something that you have guys that spend years in the big leagues and maybe don't feel that way. He does. He believes in his game. He knows his zone really well, and even any struggles, he is able to overcome them quickly. Nothing phases this young man. That's a great skill set to have.
7th overall pick back in 2024, just a couple of years ago. He's 23 years old, and the way Ollie Marmol put it is he is obsessed with baseball. Right-hander Montero on 1-2, and he gets a ground ball foul, first base side. Adam, out in left field, first of all, how's your view tonight?
Oh, fantastic. A lot warmer, too, this week. I'm feeling good.
That's great. You're very cozy over there. Looks nice. You got that wardrobe from where did you say before the game?
Oh, Jay Peterman.
Yeah.
Seinfeld reference there.
Very perfect. Got it from the Peterman catalog. 1-2, fades inside, but in seriousness, what are you watching early from Montero here from watching his AAA start?
Yeah, he really threw the fastball very well down there, both the four-seam and the sinker. I'm looking for him to establish that early and kind of, read the swings of these young hitters. He's never faced any of these guys, so it should be pretty much status quo. I mean, he's only faced a few of these guys. For the most part, he's going to attack with his game and see if they can match his level here in the cold.
2-2 was close. He did not get the call and not worth the challenge. 3-2 on the opening batter, Weatherholt. Just what Montero needs, Andy. 7 pitches to open the ball game.
Well, he's going to want to establish a strike zone. No free passes. That's going to be big for the Tigers. You talk about this young Cardinals team. They run the bases. They can create chaos with their legs. And Cater doesn't want to walk guys, doesn't want to hit guys. Yesterday they had a little issue with that. The Tigers did.
Yeah, it was a plunk fest in yesterday's game. 3-2, called strike 3. He punches out Weatherholt, bottom of the zone.
Yeah, if he makes him hit the fastball, he's going to have a good day. When Cater's fastball command is good, then he can go to the slider, the changeup later in at bats. And you'll see him use the four seam a lot against lefties. He'll sink it, spin it against the righties a little bit more. But if he falls in love with the slider too much, he can get in a little bit of trouble.
Here is Herrera, who takes a two-seam fastball, ball 1, and we have a challenge already.
Catcher's challenge.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. Dylan Dingler, the Tigers catcher, challenges, and he is right. It's a strike.
Well, if you're going to challenge one early, you better know, right? He knew that one caught the corner.
That sinker had enough swing back on it.
Good challenge by Dingler behind the plate. We were talking to Ollie Marmol about this. It's kind of just anecdotally felt early in the year like teams are under challenging.
Yeah, teams are trying to figure it out, right? And like Ollie said in spring training, he gave the full rein to his club. Challenge anything that you want, and then that kind of narrows in during the season. But I think that everybody will start getting their game plan, Andy, of like how they want to attack as the season goes on. But you're right, there are a couple of teams. The Twins have challenged a lot, but the Cardinals have been on the lower end of that.
It's another instinct that has to be developed by a baseball player that's not natural. You never learned how to do that growing up. You know how to field a ground ball. You know how to get a lead at first. You don't know how to challenge a pitch. All of a sudden it comes into play.
First base side, Spencer Torkelson, former first overall pick of the Tigers, makes the catch. And 2 away. Adam, do you feel like any managers you played with would have given you the leeway on the mound to challenge pitches?
Probably not. Probably not. They know I'm a little emotional out there. I'm going to be begging for a few pitches, so I think they actually would have given me the red light pretty quick.
How emotional were you?
I wanted everything, I mean, I didn't want to show it to the umpire because I didn't want him to, take offense to it, but obviously I wanted everything out there.
Adam Ottavino, the Veruca Salt of the pitcher's mound. He wants it all.
Well, who doesn't?
Yeah, right?
There's a reason you're not seeing pitchers challenge a lot. I'm quite sure there's a lot of red lights that are out there, and they haven't done well.
Burleson, a fly ball to left center field. Parker Meadows calls off Riley Green and then does finally make the catch. Andy, a little windy out there? What do you got?
Yeah, I think the wind's blowing. A little twilight. I'm not sure if he lost it, but he ended up finding it. That's all that matters. 3 dead.
Only on digital.
Time now for the starting lineups presented by Capital One for the Tigers. Colt Keith has had a breakout start to this year, an OPS over 1,000. McGonigal, the rookie, follows him. Dylan Dingler was a Gold Glover last year in the 6th spot, and they will all face Kyle Leahy, the 28-year-old on the mound, who is a reliever turned starter. This is his 3rd career start, Brad.
Yeah, relieved in college and started in the minor leagues. Look, this guy has a starter's arsenal. He's got 6 different pitches that he rolls out there. Kyle Leahy was so good out of the bullpen a year ago, led all relievers in innings pitched, and they wanted to give him this opportunity. You saw the Cardinals do this with Matthew Liberatore last year. They said, hey, look, you are going to get the reins. We're going to let you start. We're going to let you have a little length there. That worked out quite well. They're hoping for the same thing here with Kyle Leahy.
We have a challenge. plate umpire Mark
Pitcher's called the
Wegner
ball.
said ball,
The
that's
catcher is
out. So
challenging.
he believed it was outside. The challenge comes from Pedro Pajes, the catcher for the Cardinals. Our ABS challenge system powered by T-Mobile, and this is a strike. So both catchers
Overturned
have
strike.
successfully challenged.
2 for 2 early in the game. That one looked like a strike.
Catchers are on fire right now.
Smoking.
Here we go.
It was still a strike curveball. Right on left.
Well, that's how he's going to attack a lot of the left-handers. See more of the curveball from Leahy against the lefties.
He goes to the changeup there, and a swing and a miss from Keith. So, one away, and McGonigal will bat.
But this is a pitch that he has been tinkering with. He said he tried to make it a little more splitty. Adam, I'm interested for you. You've tinkered with pitches over the years. How hard is that for you to do?
It used to be a lot harder. I mean, now the feedback loop is so much faster with the technology. There's science involved in the player development process with new pitches. You can literally pick up a new pitch in a week. Now, it's not the smartest thing to just immediately go in the game and throw a million of them, but you can get the know-how a lot quicker than we used to back in the day.
How quick can you do that, you think?
There's almost no limit to that. Like, literally in a day, you could find something new. You're always one adjustment away from a new shape out there.
Andy Dirks has a grimace on his face as a hitter, like just what you need.
Yeah, that's terrible. But also, I think it puts in your brain that you always have to change to a degree. Because sometimes nothing really needs to change. You just got to hit your spots.
Well, it's nothing really needs to change could be the slogan for the guy in the batter's box for the Tigers here. Kevin McGonigal, 21-year-old, one of the sensational rookies around Major League Baseball. He started with a 4-hit game. His first swing in the majors was a double. And Andy, what have you seen to this point about him that makes him this type of player?
I mean, the hit tool's there. You see, he has very little head movement. A lot of times when guys come up, you see them, they're jumping all over in the box. Their head moves a lot. They're trying to overswing the bat. But his approach to the game and to the baseball in the box is calm. His demeanor is super calm, and his hands are lightning fast. There's very few guys that can get away with watching a ball come in as long as he can and make a later decision and still make good contact. And what it shows you, too, is the league, across the league, they've only thrown about 37% fastballs. This is a rookie. Like, Brad, when a good guy came up, you want to show him what you had.
Yeah, you used to challenge with a fastball. It just kind of goes back to the same thing we're talking about with pitch shaping. Look, there's video of everybody. There's charts on everybody. This guy mashes fastballs. But to your point, that's a tough customer. The guy that trusts his hands. He's very quick. You see the wide, sturdy base. He's tough to punch out.
3-2 is ball 4 to McGonigal. So he did see a chunk of fastballs in there, but eventually he draws a walk. This is very close off the inside with the fastball.
I mean, he's kind of getting to the point of Kevin McGonigal doesn't swing at it. It's not a strike, Benetti.
Yeah, that's what, 9 games into his career?
It's like, well, McGonigal didn't swing. He has been very good with his plate discipline. He swings at pitches over the plate, waits for what he likes, which is one of the reasons when the Tigers were evaluating should he be in the big leagues and make this team out of spring. That was one of the things they evaluated.
It was very similar to the conversation with J.J. Weatherholt. I mean, you've got the #2 prospect in all of baseball in McGonigal, #5 in J.J. Weatherholt playing second base for the Cardinals. Both of them know their strike zones very well for young players.
Gleyber Torres, who had a career high in walks last year. You know, part of that could be the ABS system in the minors. I've had players say to me, you guys probably have the same, that they know the strike zone a little bit more because it's clearer in minor league baseball with the ABS.
Oh, for sure. It makes a ton of sense. You get feedback every single night on that zone. So would you have liked that as a young hitter coming up? Would you have enjoyed having the ABS?
Absolutely. I would have challenged all the time, and I'd have been wrong a lot. I used to go into the tunnel, and you look at that pitch, you're like, yeah, that was for sure a ball. A little swing back sucker from Bartolo Colon. Yeah, that's a ball. It's inside. Then you go and look at it on film. You're wrong.
Oh, middle.
That's a strike. It's like middle. Oh, boy, this is going to be a long day.
2-2 on Torres with McGonigal at first and a half swing into strike 3. Leahy had Torres off balance with kind of a wayward slider there, Brad.
But sometimes those ones can be beneficial. A little backup slider. You see the spin as the right-handed hitter just keeps boring in on you. Couldn't hold himself up. Second strikeout of the day there for Leahy.
Ottavino, what do you got on high sliders?
They can do it. You can get success with that, but it's pretty hard to do that on command. I mean, for the most part, you're trying to make that thing go left and be down and away, and that's what the hitter's anticipating there. And just to Brad's point, he sees spin, thinks it's going to go down the middle, and it kind of rides up on him and gets inside on him there.
See what Leahy did pitch decision-wise. So many teams are challenging pitchers to get those pitches around 10%. Because that's when they appear on the scouting report. You see the 11%. Adam, I know you heard that in clubhouses recently, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they want to put more ideas in the opponent's mind. For me, I actually think that's a little bit overrated.
You
to
do?
tell you the truth. Yeah, I mean, just to hit a percentage just to hit it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I feel like every moment in the game requires an individual decision, and you end up where you end up.
I would agree with that. I think it comes back to what do you have conviction in, right? I don't want to just throw something because it's out there. You might have a given day where a pitch that you've been throwing 8% feels good in your hand, and maybe it works, and that could be more of a surprise than anything.
3-0 to Carpenter, runner at first, and he takes a called strike. The crowd cheers. The crowd being able to challenge would be an interesting piece of this. That was low.
Yeah, he's not going to challenge it though. Carpenter in the box against a righty at any point in the game with an advantage count. It's good for the Tigers.
So you're saying don't take the walk.
I mean, he could have, but Tigers like to see Carpenter swing the bat. He's got a lot of thump.
I saw that yesterday on a changeup down and away that he flicked out to left field. Big time power.
3-1. Carpenter lays into it, foul. That's an interesting call, though. I wonder if there's a scenario where you wouldn't take a walk, maybe to set up. This is what you're talking about, Brad, this changeup.
This is a good pitch right here by Dustin May, who had himself a rough day. Out in front, but still able to get the barrel to it to drop it into the bullpen in left field. That's monster power.
3-2 to Carpenter, and he swings through a changeup. They went right back to it today.
It's a good pitch right there. He's been working on it. It's been beneficial.
Leahy strikes out Carpenter. We're through one on Sunday night. Rare is the time when the St. Louis Cardinals go into a full rebuild, but this is a young and talented roster. It is the youngest overall roster in all of Major League Baseball. Every position player debuted in the COVID season or later in trying to build to some all-stars. But Jordan Walker hit a ball yesterday, we'll show you after the first pitch here, that went to a place that doesn't typically get visited on the fly at Comerica Park as he flicks this ball to right field. That's a base hit. That was a broken bat, Johnny, there. This was yikes.
He got every bit of this one. A fastball in the grand slam off of the brick wall. What a shot by Jordan Walker. This young man has got big time power. It's about putting it together consistently. Love seeing him dump one into right field there as well. But this is it. You're talking about the baby birds, talking about the potential. Guys, Jordan Walker is one of the poster childs of that.
Up and back from AAA over the past couple of years, but the skills are enormous. What have you seen from him growth-wise, Brad, over the years?
Yeah, well, there's been a few things, right? First of all, he's gotten a whole lot better in the outfield. Remember, he was a third baseman when he got drafted, so making that transition out of the outfield took a lot of work, and he's turned himself into a good right fielder. But the big thing from a hitting standpoint is he's made some swing adjustments, but the biggest thing for him is making better swing decisions, stuff that he can't hit consistently. Sliders down and away, you got to lay off of those until you get to 2 strikes. He's making better decisions overall.
He saw a first pitch sinker he liked for that base hit as Gorman stands in, the 25-year-old third baseman Nolan Gorman. It's interesting, Andy, the Tigers are kind of a couple years down the road from where the Cardinals are offensively, it feels like.
Yeah, we saw those adjustments that the Tigers had to make. One of the biggest changes that they made right out of the gate was we got to start swinging at strikes, swinging at too many balls. Then last year it was the effectiveness against the fastball. They didn't hit the fastball really well. They got really good at hitting the fastball. Then hitting left-handed pitching. They brought in Gleyber Torres, Spencer Torkelson, Jahmai Jones had a great year against left-handed pitching. And that was kind of the key elements to really get that offense to turn around. But it was a progression. It doesn't happen overnight. You can't just say don't swing at the slider down and away. And then one day you just wake up and you don't.
So I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I
Really?
To do that.
Good tip.
Yeah.
Pro tip.
It is hard, though, for a young team, right? Young players, you're always trying to make an impression out there, but sometimes you have to be patient.
1-2 is in for Gorman. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Former 19th overall pick.
The cool thing about an organization is when everybody's banging on the same drum at the same time. Like all these players are working on similar things in their journey. Situationally, what should I have done in this situation? Was this a good time to bunt? Was it not?
And that what you're talking about, that's kind of the Cardinal clubhouse right now. These are all young kids, for the most part, don't have a big back of the baseball card to be able to reference. They're going through things together, and there's a real energy and excitement around that. I mean, that's fun when you're coming up with a crew. I know that Ollie Marmol, their skipper, he loves it. He loves the energy with these guys all learning together.
You can get a scrappy team out of that. And look, there are 6 teams that make the playoffs in each league. So there's nothing that says, a little bit like the Diamondbacks after the deadline last year, they kind of just banded together and built to at least challenge for a playoff spot. Who knows? 2-2 for Montero. That's a sky-high pop-up. We saw Meadows fighting with the wind earlier. It's McGonigal fading back, and he makes the catch.
Be blowing out the left a little bit today, fellas. Anytime in Comerica that ball gets up over the light stanchions in height, it can really start blowing. The Midwest baseball is always a good time with the wind.
I kind of feel like it's watching Grapefruit League play again. So how the wind blows down in Florida, but that makes it tough.
The outfielders have to be aware of that. Any ball hit up to the left side of the infield, they need to come in, make sure that nothing drops.
There's another fly ball. This to right center, and Meadows to make the catch. I mean, by the time we're done with this season, Adam Ottavino is going to be a certified meteorologist, the way he's braved the elements. How is the wind in the left field corner where you are in your nook?
It's been whipping a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Not constant, but there's been some gusts. I'll report some gusts.
We have a couple gusty strands of hair, actually. We can tell your hair is being like a wind gauge.
Oh, man. The wife's going to want me to lock that in a little better.
Got to get some product down there, Adam. A little hairspray.
I think it's futile. It's going to continue. The wind is not going to quit here.
No, it's one of those days in April right now here at Comerica Park as the 1-0 is grounded to second base. That's Gleyber Torres to retire the side. Still scoreless through an inning and a half in downtown Detroit.
Introducing
this season, here's a live look at FanDuel's home run odds for tonight's game. See Riley Green is standing in at plus 750. You saw the Joe Adell home run robberies in pregame that Dexter took everybody through. Evidently, FanDuel is giving bonus payouts to people who had home run stuff yesterday.
Oh, that's nice of
Joe
them.
Adell took from them.
Jeez, I didn't know you could do that.
I mean, the giving spirit. It is a holiday weekend.
How about that? That's a good thing to do. That was incredible. 3 of them? Are you serious?
In one game, have you guys ever seen anything like that?
Well, I've needed it, but I haven't seen it.
Riley Green, back-to-back All-Star for the Tigers, stands in. Big power bat. Andy trying to cut down on the strikeouts this year.
Yeah, he's trying to change that 2-strike approach a little bit. Struck out over 200 times last year, and it's one of those things you got to take with Riley the good with the bad. I mean, this is a high caliber player, had 111 RBIs last year, hit a lot of home runs, and he's got power to all fields. So you never want to restrict a guy and be a contact hitter when you can hit the ball like he can. So, but he's just trying to learn a little bit to have that approach to where let's cut him down to a slight margin, to a degree.
You can handle it. You can handle the strikeouts.
I'm
if
with
that
you.
is going to happen, especially if you don't have a lineup full of those guys.
Yeah.
2-2. He yanks it to first. Nice play by Burleson over there. That's the first ball in play for the Tigers, and that's good news for Leahy, looking for more swing and miss.
Yeah, look, this is something that the Cardinals organization needed desperately, is somebody to miss bats. We all know what can happen ball in play. There's a lot that could go on. They needed that, and that's why they liked Leahy with his arsenal in this rotation. Thought that he could get more of it. Got three strikeouts in that first inning.
Every batter so far has been to 2 strikes against Leahy. 5 batters deep.
Commanding counts. We all know how big that is. If you are in the driver's seat, you can get to work, and that's where really you get to utilize that whole arsenal. When you're chasing, when you're behind, you feel like you have to pour stuff into the zone, and as you very well know, Andy, that's when the power comes in.
Dylan Dingler, who had the first 2 Tigers home runs this year, a Gold Glover last year behind the plate for Detroit. Andy, leadership wise, what have you seen from Dingler at age 27?
He's as steady as they come. He is like the rock of a man. No highs, no lows. The emotion on his face never changes. He never gets overly excited about any situation, and he's one of those guys that's just super dependable. He's also, when you stand up next to him, he's put together. He's just a house behind home plate. Makes good swing decisions. He rakes. He's got a cannon. He won a Gold Glove. What's not to like about the guy?
Is that how you were as a player? No highs, no lows?
Yeah, you got to be that way to a degree. You know, everybody's different.
Brad's asking, I think aspirationally, the scout on you was maybe there were some high highs and low lows.
I ran a little hot sometimes.
Have I heard that right?
I pitched with blackout anger, and it didn't work all the time. I'm very happy now, but when I played, I was very unhappy. It was like kind of one of those flip the switch type things. When you're throwing 89 to 91, you better have something to flip.
Yeah.
I feel like that was kind of my.
It's going to out anger him.
Yes. Didn't always work.
Here's a chopper and an inconvenient swing for Dingler. Man, Leahy really tied him up there. 2 down for Meadows. Hey, the MLB app has you covered all season long. Get personalized highlights and push notifications just for you. Download the MLB app, the #1 app for live baseball. Easter weekend, bunnies everywhere around the ballpark, and whatever that might be.
It had to be warm though, whatever. I think that was a bunny.
It looked bunny adjacent. It was like if a bunny and a unicorn. Yeah, that whatever that is.
Sleep well, kids.
Andy, what is that?
It's a plancaster.
What?
Platocaster, but a plancaster. They plan a lot with the colors on its head. Hey, you never seen a plancaster? You can Google it later.
I believe that's a high A location in California.
We've been there. Ball flies.
1-1 to Meadows. Adam, I know it's chilly out there. If we got you an Easter Bunny unicorn head, would you wear it? Oh, you've gone beanie.
Yeah, I went beanie now. Yeah, I wear it. Why not? I'm a good sport.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're here to go inside the pitch, but maybe we'll go inside the costume.
I don't know if you want to be sharing with everyone.
That's true. It's a good point.
Ball.
Adam, you faced Parker Meadows' brother, Austin.
Yeah, didn't love it. Didn't love it. He was on the Rays. They used to expose me pretty good, these left-handed batters. Meadows, his brother, yeah, Austin, natural swing. Just not a good matchup for me.
Base hit to center. What was it about the Meadowses? Like that swing reminds you a little bit of Austin, right? Probably.
Yeah, they're pretty short to the ball. It's an efficient load, so I can't, mess with their timing at all, and I have to really execute against their swing. And, to be truthful, that wasn't my strength versus lefties. So, trying to be perfect out there is not the best strategy. And they exposed me for that.
1 on 2 out for Spencer Torkelson. He has seen a lot of fastballs so far this year, and there is one, Andy.
Yeah, he's been just a little late. He's hit about 4 or 5 balls to the warning track in left field, so you feel like he's not that far off of it. A couple of those go out, everybody's saying, oh, he's off to a great start. That's the problem with early numbers for guys. They can start creeping in your head a little bit. You start pressing, overthinking it. I know nobody in this booth has ever overthought it.
Doing it right now.
Yeah.
Ball and a strike to Torkelson. Meadows at first. Adam, 2-1 to Torkelson here. Where's your mind if you're Leahy right on right?
I still think fastball away, something away, breaking ball or fastball away, make him do damage the other way right now.
2-1. Oh, he came in with a fastball. 3 balls and a strike. Now he's in the advantage count. What's a good 3-1 pitch here, Adam?
Well, he wants to get his A swing off here, so you have to think to yourself, what's he looking for? Odds are it's a fastball, so I'd probably go anything else, literally anything else. Slider, changeup, all on the table here.
Yeah, slider right there. It's a ground ball foul, 3-2. So based on that swing then, take us to the next pitch here. What did you see on that swing that would make you think about something on this pitch?
Well, timing-wise, he pulled that pitch. That tells me he's still on the fastball. So now you have to make a choice. 3-2, do you want to try to get him to chase, or do you want to try to challenge him in the zone? I think it's still early. Got to challenge him in the zone, something away.
That's Leahy's decision, and he missed with that sweeper. That just kind of spun inside, yeah?
Yeah, that's just a mistake. His hand didn't get out front in time, and he ended up backing up down the middle. Actually, a pretty typical sequence there. He went from the smaller breaking ball to the bigger breaking ball, and actually think now he could repeat that same pitch. If he could get it away, I think he can get him.
Why is that typical sequence smaller to bigger?
So the hitter sees spin, and he assumes it's the same shape, but then it's a bigger shape.
That one faded inside on a 2-seamer. It's a challenge by Pages. It's either ball 4 or strike 3. Let's see, and the crowd will react with us. Our ABS challenge system powered by T-Mobile. It is ball 4. Cardinals lose a challenge. 2 on, 2 out for Javier Baez.
We saw Pedro right there look towards the bench and give him the little side nod like, I don't know, I'm not sure. Big spot though, wanted to try to get one, didn't go his way.
But to end an at-bat, to end a plate appearance, that's kind of where you want to use these things.
I would think so, right? You don't want to start a rally early if you think it's close enough.
Baez, ball 1. Adam, this is a guy you did face a handful of times. Where's your mind?
Yeah, I mean, the book on Javi's never really changed. You got to get ahead of him first pitch and then make him expand. He's a big-time free swinger. You have to take advantage of that.
That's popped up back of home. Andy, you've watched Javi Baez. What made him effective in the postseason last year for the Tigers?
Yeah, laying off some of those pitches Adam was referencing. You know, he wasn't expanding the zone as much. Also, he started trusting his hands more last year to get to the fastball. He wasn't cheating so much to get to the fastball. He was hitting more balls to right field, and when they hung the breaking ball, that's when he did a lot of his damage on the pull side.
Meadows at second, Torkelson at first. 2 out for the Tigers in the 2nd inning. And it's a ground ball dragged to 3rd. That's Gorman in front of it, and his throw is on time, and the Cardinals escape this 2nd inning rally for the Tigers. No score.
0-0 in the Cardinals dugout with Ali Marmol are trying to figure out the ABS system right now. Are you okay with Pages in that last inning taking a chance trying to end the inning on a full count?
Yeah, you got to trust your guys, man. He did a really nice job in spring training, and when the season comes, nothing. You got to trust him. There's going to. Yeah.
You heard Ali Marmol there with Ahmed Fareed briefly. Just got to trust your guys as Pages stands in here to start the 3rd. Again, you said it, Brad. Everybody's kind of feeling out this challenge system on their own, individual teams, as Ali is in year number 5 now. Hard to believe almost. And that first year, St. Louis made the playoffs. They had the lead in game 1 against the Phillies in that wild card round. 6-run 9th inning, and you do wonder, it's one of those junction points in history that you wonder, had that gone differently, is this a bouncer to 3rd and McGonigal for out number 1? But Ali Marmol is the leader of this team now in this full youth movement. What makes him equipped for that?
Look, I think he is perfect for it. First of all, he's just a great teacher of the game of baseball. Remember, this is a guy that came up. He's worn basically every hat in the organization. Was first a player. He coached, he managed. I mean, he just loves to teach the game. And so when you have a bunch of young, influential players that are still learning, having a manager like him, I think, is a perfect fit. And then he handpicked his staff. He's got the group that he wants. He allows these guys to all teach. Just think that coaching at the big league level now, guys, is more important than ever before. That's a hot shot right there. Home plate umpire Mark Wegner took.
Yeah, Mark Wegner just got hit pretty square, the California native, and the first thing we saw was "I'm good." So it looks like Mark is all right. As the all-star bat boy Frankie Andy goes out to say hello to him.
Yeah, he did a terrific job last year. There was a huge push in the city to get Frankie to the All-Star game.
Was he on the ballot?
Yeah, man.
He's a write-in.
Yeah, he did a great job. He got voted in.
We got another challenge. There's Frankie. Dylan Dingler has challenged, so Pa has lost one in the bottom of the second inning. Dingler challenging this ball one to Scott, and our ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. He got him again. Dylan Dingler is on fire.
It's the most challenges I've seen early in a ball game so far.
It's prime time. We got to show it off. Got new toys.
Sunday night challenge choices. 0-2. It's a breaking ball, dragged to second. Gleyber Torres underhand for out number 2. And here comes J.J. Weatherholt, who had his elementary school teacher get in the news. You know, on debut situations, you never know who's going to come out of the woodwork. Somebody who loves you from back before. JJ said in 5th grade that he wanted to be an MLB player. And so Mrs. Inglesby found this picture and sent it out from the Mars area school district account just outside of Pittsburgh. Very cute.
Nailed it right there. Look at that big smile on his face. Good handwriting too. Penmanship in 5th grade. I'm digging that. Oh, this guy, he's known for a long time, and he's put the work in to be in this position. And Andy, as you know, the work doesn't stop when you get to the big leagues. He's going to have a lot to learn over the years. Yeah,
every single at bat that you take, they start compounding over time, and time on task in the big league. The game is so much faster at the big league level than it is anywhere else. Things can compound pretty quickly. You feel like I'm going up to the plate. I'm always 0-2. What's going on here? And you get into battle mode. And for a lot of these guys, and this is what the Tigers saw, big turning point, Tarek Skubal started becoming a star. And all of a sudden, you started seeing Zach McKinstry's of the world come into this space where they were no longer just trying to stay in the big leagues. They felt like they belonged in the big leagues, and they were like a good representation of what a big league ball player is. They went from survival mode to thrival mode very quickly. And that was the turning point for them last year.
Thrival mode.
Thrival.
People are going to start using that, you know.
I wrote it down. That will be on a Cardinals broadcast soon.
3-1 has popped up. Third base side. See what the wind does. McGonigal will leave it to Baez, and he makes the catch. Riley Green has been Mr. Off-Ramp so far tonight as Baez takes care of that one. We're scoreless.
Back here in Detroit with Tigers manager A.J. Hinch. Kevin McGonigal, we knew he had great plate discipline, 7-pitch at-bat, first at-bat. What, if anything, surprised you, though, about him most when you saw him play?
Just his ability to handle a lot thrown at him at an early age and an early time in his career. You know, coming into camp, you know, we were going to give him a chance to make this team. We didn't know how he'd respond, and all he's done is do everything right.
You knew Justin Verlander as a Houston Astro. What is the biggest difference between Astro Justin Verlander and second stint Detroit Tiger Verlander?
I just think he knows and appreciates where he's at in the game. He wanted to come back to Detroit. These fans love him. We're going to get him healthy, get him back on the mound. But he matters to this city and this franchise, and he knows it.
Thanks, AJ. Jason?
Ahmed, thank you, and thanks to A.J. Hinch. It was supposed to be Justin Verlander's homecoming here tonight. Would have been his first home start as a Tiger since 2017. And he said the other day, Andy, the thing that he's most proud of is the longevity, pitching until he's 43 now.
Yeah, and I played with JV. That guy always wanted the ball. He's a bulldog, and his role model was Nolan Ryan. And I think if there's anybody that's been close to a Nolan Ryan type career, it's been Verlander.
Base hit for Colt Keith to set up McGonigal, who is 22 years his junior, but on Verlander. Watching him at close range, you saw what?
One of the best that's ever played. I mean, we were in Kansas City on a random day game, and he gives up a leadoff triple in the 8th inning after throwing 120 pitches and nobody out, and he strikes the next 3 guys out, Jason. I mean, it was a different level when Verlander was on the bump. And as a position player behind him, you loved it when he pitched. He just got after it, and he had great stuff.
Here is Kevin McGonigal for Detroit. Keith at first.
Hey!
And that is a strike on McGonigal, who you heard A.J. Hinch just say to Ahmed Fareed. He was surprised at how much you could put on his plate early on.
Well, it really is. We keep going back and forth with him and Weatherholt. Feel like the same makeup with these guys. And as a manager, A.J. Hinch is going to be careful, right, with any young player of how much they heap on. They also want to test you and see what you can handle. Well, he has checked every single box along the way. And look, he forced their hand. He was going to be a part of this year.
Ball 2 on him, 2-1.
So if you go from reliever to starter, second time through the lineup, any adjustments?
Yeah, but for Leahy, look, he's got the arsenal where he can mix it up very well. He is such a studier too, so he's not going to fall into tendencies, and he also knows behind the plate Pedro Pages has got that down. So right now, I don't think that you're trying to make any wholesale adjustments here. The big key for him is continuing to figure out how do you get those legs under you, how do you keep them under you to get deeper and deeper into the ball game. He went 5+ last time out, kind of ran out of gas. Another nice changeup right there. Boy, that thing's been effective. 4th strikeout of the day for Kyle Leahy. But that's going to be the key, is how he gets deeper out. You see that split finger grip, just tumbling action, got him off on the front foot.
Adam, that is gross, huh?
Yeah, and you can see the swing was funky right there. The spin did not give away exactly what that pitch was going to do, so a very odd swing there from McGonigal.
Adam Ottavino down the left field line. His former teammate Gleyber Torres checks his swing there, and the ball sits out in front of home plate. Leahy just threw a buzzsaw to first base, by the way.
That will happen at times. Adam, you know this. Sometimes the tapper back to you after you throw one as hard as you can is not easy. He lets it rip here.
I think that's the right play. That's what I had to do. If I tried to go 50% on it, I'm sailing that ball. So you might as well throw it hard and hope the first baseman's ready.
Always nice to leave it to Hope.
He's got that glove on. He's going to be fine over there.
That's what they're paid for. So Burleson hauls it in. Here is Kerry Carpenter, who struck out on the changeup in the first inning. First pitch, fastball. That's clobbered to center field. Scott is back at the track. It is gone. 2-run home run, Kerry Carpenter. And the Tigers have the first lead tonight.
Well, after his last at-bat, Jason, striking out on the changeup, he was not going to wait around to see it again. He saw what happened to Kevin McGonigal. He remembered the first at-bat. He said, first pitch early in this at-bat, I'm going to get a fastball and I'm going to drive it somewhere. And that ball was touched. Center field in Comerica is no joke. You hit it out there, cold weather, you got it.
A.J. Hinch said to us before the game that Kerry Carpenter is somebody that Kevin McGonigal has gravitated toward because he's the best game planner in that clubhouse. He knows what he wants to hit, and he hits it, and that was one of those situations right there.
He knew he was going to try to get ahead, to get to the changeup, to get to the breaking ball. He was ready for the first pitch fastball, and that's what you got to be in this league. You got to be able to adjust. Going to 2 strikes against a lot of these guys is not fun.
It's a ground ball up the middle. That's a long way to go from second base for Weatherholt. My goodness, he made that a close effort. Riley Green is safe. What a rangy play for the rookie.
Yeah, just a tad short on that one, but it really was a good play. Ollie was telling us before the game, one of the biggest things that they tasked JJ with was really working on that backhand side. He did a good job of letting his momentum swing him around so he could make a strong throw, beat it by a step. But you love seeing that range and that athleticism up the middle. And when the Cardinals have Mason Wynn in the lineup, he's been dealing with a hip issue the last couple of days. Boy, you want to talk about an athletic up the middle. They've got a good one.
Dylan Dingler, a ground ball foul. That type of play is the reason Major League Baseball has hunted rule changes to lead to more balls in play, to show off the athleticism of somebody like J.J. Weatherholt.
It is a fantastic point. Instead of stacking one side of the infield, that ends up being right at somebody, and it has made for a far more entertaining style of play, in my opinion.
0-1. Dingler hits this high into the sky into right field, and Jordan Walker is underneath it. But back-to-back days, Andy Dirks, Kerry Carpenter, a home run.
This time to dead central. Yesterday was the left. Will he get a pull side bomb? We'll find out.
2-0 Tigers over the Cardinals in the top of the 4th inning here at Comerica Park in Detroit, as Kader Montero had thrown 37 pitches in the first 3 innings. 25 of them were fastballs. In an era where guys have shown their entire arsenal first time through, he's done that somewhat, Adam, but he is piping fastballs. What do you think of this so far?
I think it's a great strategy on a night like tonight when it's cold out. You know, you throw both the 4-seam and the sinker. You got 2 pitches that are about the same speed, but then they deviate in their movement right in front of home plate. Pretty hard to square up, and if you're not going to square the ball up in the cold weather, then your hands are going to be stinging a little bit, and I think that's where he's at right now.
We have another challenge from Dylan Dingler, who is 2 for 2 tonight. It's our ABS system powered by T-Mobile, and this is strike 3.
Give him the hat trick.
Dylan Dingler is going to end up with the Wings pretty soon, just across the street. Dropped in a breaking ball, and Dingler was getting ready to throw to first, and he realized that he had to tap his head, and he got it done.
Don't forget to tap your head, because if you throw the ball to first, you don't have time.
No.
Yeah, 2 seconds is what you have. 2 seconds.
Yeah, any other movement basically disqualifies you from a challenge possibility if you're just joining us this season, as Riley Green makes the catch. There are quickly 2 down. And this week on Peacock, NBA Monday, final week before the postseason, the Knicks will take on the Hawks. Atlanta right in the thick of it in the East race, playing at home against New York tomorrow, streaming live on Peacock. And the NBA playoffs are coming to NBC and Peacock starting April the 19th. A lot decided out west. There are some big games still coming up this week to determine playoff positioning, even in the 7 through 10 range for that extra first round and those games that you have to play if you're between 7 and 10. So a large week in the NBA as Jordan Walker stands in. First pitch single, his first time up, as Montero misses low, 2-0.
Well, we know he likes the ball in, middle in. He hit one off the bricks yesterday on the middle in heater.
And you can try to run it in off the plate, but you're playing a dangerous game if you don't get it in there.
So he furnishes him a right-on-right changeup.
Why not? Why not? You see when Montero goes into his glove, too, he's going in with that changeup grip. First of all, it's the biggest grip. Doesn't want to give anything away, but sticks with it right there. Keeps him out in front.
So then he comes back in with the sinker after the changeup.
Right. Well, now you got some options, right? When you're looking at this situation, Adam, which way are you going?
4-seam now. That would be my pick here. He's seen some pitches with sink. Give him something with a little bit of ride and away.
Oh, he went slider there. 3-2. He must be feeling good right now, Adam.
Well, this is another benefit to the all fastball approach early. If you can pull it off, then you get the guys really dialed in on the fastball and everything else starts to open up.
So now as Walker calls for time, Brad, first of all, what do you think he's thinking, having watched him?
Well, look, he knows how he's been attacked in the past. I think he's probably thinking spin away. He's thinking something like slider on the outer half.
3-2 coming. It was a fastball, and he wasn't ready for it. You're exactly right, Brad.
Well, that's what he's been spun a lot away from him. He gets the heater instead, and Montero been throwing the ball really well tonight.
Sunday Night Baseball in lovely downtown Detroit with Andy Dirks, Brad Thompson, Adam Ottavino, our entire crew, Jason Benetti along with you. Every week we have folks who have been in it with their teams all season long, who know their teams as well as anybody in the booth. And Brad Thompson knows cold weather pitching as well as anybody. You are, according to, as Parker Meadows sends this to the right side, you have a distinction in Cardinals history we'll get to after this. Sunday Night Baseball on Peacock is brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Brad Thompson did not pitch in the '68 World Series, but he has pitched in the World Series for the St. Louis Cardinals with that game program. In 2006, you got yourself a ring.
That is true.
Beautiful thing. Tigers fans don't love to hear it, but congratulations.
I had a great time here.
Wow.
Loved it.
Zing. You pitched in, tied for the 3rd most games under 45 degrees in Cardinals history. There you see the results from 34, 68, 06. 7-game World Series a couple of times. Then you guys finished it off quickly in 06.
Yeah, I tell you what, first of all, going back to that, there's a stat for everything, huh? So the third most games under 45 degrees in the history of the Cardinals?
In the history of the Cardinals,
Go
according
ahead.
to Brian Bartow and the great media relations staff for St. Louis.
Hey!
You're the Frosty the Snowman of
look,
the Cardinals.
There are some people that are built for it, and I would say the kid born and raised in Las Vegas is probably one of those guys. If it's cold, he's ready to answer the bell. It was that, or Tony La Russa didn't want to get anybody else hurt. It was one of the two things. Hey!
Yeah, you grow up doubling on 11, and then if it's 11 degrees, you know exactly what to do.
Exactly, exactly. House always wins. Have found that out.
2-2 on Torkelson, who walked in the second inning. Two great franchises in Major League history, anchor franchises in their leagues. They've run into each other every 3 decades or so in the World Series. 34 in the Gas House Gang, 68 in that great pitching performance in Game 7. Bob Gibson, the wrong side of history that year. And then 2006, the Cardinals 20 years ago, winners over the Tigers. 3-2 for Torkelson. That's a dart. That's fair down the left field line for Spencer Torkelson. It kicks off the sidewall, and he trudges to second base with a 1-out double. That's why Adam said pitch him away the previous sequence.
Yeah, he's ready to hit the fastball right now and pull side. He knows he's been a little late on some fastballs, so it looks like that's the focus right now.
Just such quick hands. That thing shot right down the line. Nathan Church got to it as fast as he could.
So now Baez up with Torkelson at second. And here's a guy, Adam, that you saw quite a bit. 5 at-bats that finished and a couple, let's say, wayward pitches. Do you remember against Javi Baez?
I hit him in the face, I think.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're going. We had StatCast build it. It's powered by Google Cloud. Look at this dazzling array of pitches. What's going on in the top left corner?
Pure intimidation. That's what that is right there. No, I mean, it got away from me a couple pitches. I mean, honestly, me and Javi had some good showdowns over the years.
Fake it to third, throw it to first. So JC makes the right call. 2 down. What do you remember from those standoffs?
I just remember like there was a mutual respect. He was coming for blood. I was coming for the strikeout. And a couple times I got the last laugh. Unfortunately, he did get me in a wild card game for a huge hit. But yeah, I mean, the hit by pitch, I definitely didn't want to do that. I remember feeling not so good about that. But honestly, what was really crazy about it is I hit him like up in the face area, and he didn't even flinch. It was like nothing to him. So
that made
my
feel?
Yeah, it made my fastball feel a little weak. Not gonna lie.
That's wild. He did not get a hit off of you in the regular season, but he got you in the wild card round?
Yeah, man. One run game. Rockies, Cubs, and Wrigley. Had him with 2 strikes. Tried to expand, left it a little bit close, and he went ahead and tied the game. And I howled at the moon for a minute.
That was that extra inning game that went a long while at Wrigley, yeah?
Yeah, 14 innings. Tony Walters game-winning hit.
That place was loud that night, Adam.
Oh my goodness, I had a bases loaded situation in that game with Jason Hayward up, and I fell behind 2-0, and I couldn't hear myself think for a second there.
2-0 changeup from Leahy.
Yeah, runner at third. Anytime there's a runner in scoring position, you know a pitcher's not just going to want to feed you something that's easy to hit. Colt's already hit his fastball once, too.
Especially in a tight ball game early, you want to keep it close. Want to see if you can get him to either roll that over, swing through it.
That's the right thing to do by Colt, though. If you're fooled, swing through it. Get to the next pitch.
Powers this one left center field, twisting away, but not far enough for Scott, who's an outstanding center fielder, and he squeezes the final out of the 4th. Shop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Scan the QR code or visit MLBshop.com, the official source for your favorite team gear. You can buy team gear just like that to stay warm, although you didn't need it here at Comerica Park on Friday. It was 73 degrees, felt like June. Saturday, it was like late April, and you use your hand warmers as nose warmers, evidently. 42 tonight. Have you seen that kind of placement for a hand warmer before?
That lady's a genius, I think. I feel like that's going to be the next thing. Somebody patent that quickly. Fashionable, warm.
Does it make you breathe better, like a nose strip?
Doubtful.
Does it open your...
No, it's doubtful. Probably does the opposite, but it's worth it if you're warm.
You think so? That is a bouncer through the right side past Torkelson, and a base hit for Nolan Gorman.
I keep talking about this young core for the Cardinals. Gorman, another first rounder, big time power. That is a hot shot right through the right side. Really going to lean on him. This is a guy that led their club in home runs a couple of years ago with 27 of them. He's been working on his swing decisions, cutting down some of the strikeouts, but a lot of hard contact.
He and Torkelson both going neck warmer here tonight. Gorman is a former high school home run derby winner. There's power in the bat, certainly, as you said. That was 101 off his bat.
Well, when he gets them, he gets them. I mean, this is a guy, again, it comes down to swing decisions and just honing in his strike zone a little bit. If he does that, Andy, I mean, he's got a chance to have a crazy high ceiling.
It's pretty normal for guys with power.
Yeah.
You know, usually they're a little more free swingers, and then the more they can hone it in, the better they get. Some guys get there to different degrees. I never like guys that got massive power to try to, oh, I got to be just like Barry Bonds and only swing if it's right, you know, because not every player is going to do that. You're still going to have a certain amount of swing and miss with guys with power. And it's a matter of, like you said, swing decisions on the pitch they're looking for, in the count they're looking for it in.
Yeah,
and
have an idea.
Have an idea, have a plan, and whatever that plan is, try to execute it. Doesn't always work out perfect.
2-1 to Sajacy. A couple of glove side misses here, Adam, for Montero. It looked like he pulled that one pretty dramatically.
Yeah, he hasn't pitched with a lot of traffic, so guy gets on first. Perhaps that's thrown him off a little bit, pulling the shoulder out a little bit early. He's just looking to get back in the zone here against the Jay-Z.
3-1 from Montero, and he did get right back in the strike zone. So mechanically, how are you dealing with that? Like pitch to pitch there, how do you make that adjustment?
Well, once you've done it enough times, you can usually figure out what your cue is to fix it. For me, I would just try to keep my torso sideways as I came down the mound as long as possible, delay that rotation just a bit, get my hand to the right spot.
Easy does it. 3-2. Fouled away. It's another fastball for Sajacy.
A lot of times, too, Adam, it helps if your catcher knows you really well. That guy can give you a little pointer. This guy obviously been around the organization, but hasn't been here all season long. But I got a feeling Dingler probably knows some of his tells as well.
Yeah, and also they can adjust their setup position, too. They can guide you back over the white thing, the plate, if they need to, by moving over a little bit. Hey, you're missing in the same location. Let's just cheat over a little bit here.
I never knew pitchers thought so much. That's great.
It's a revelation.
It could be too much at times.
Man.
A lot going on.
3-2. Montero to Sajacy.
Ball four.
That's ball four. There are 2 on with nobody out for Church, and we step aside for this message.
With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn all of your purchases into extraordinary trips. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
So you have Montero, who's been in the big leagues up and down for 2 seasons. You have Church, who played in all of 27 games last year for the Cardinals. From what you've seen from Church as the bullpen starts to stir for the Tigers, Brad, what do you think this at-bat looks like in his mind?
Look, I think that he is really going to try to slow this situation down. We have seen him early on get a little jumpy early in counts, but he's at his best when he is being more and more selective. We saw him early this year, first couple of series, let the ball travel, drive something the other way. I think that's the thought process of let it get deep, but swinging at pitches that you can handle. Don't help him out here in this spot.
He's got 2 on, nobody out. Best chance for the Cardinals so far against Montero. Corner infielders are in for the Tigers, and Church is not bunting. It's ball 1.
That's interesting. Torkelson was way in over at the first base side. Now he's going to back up.
Back up a lot after ball 1. He's behind on the fastball that he let travel there. 1-1.
That's the hope, right? Be able to shoot something that way. And he does have a good short stroke. He can move it.
Looking for his first hit in this series, a 3-game series with the Tigers.
That's out.
1-1 is outside. 2 balls and a strike for Church.
Pretty good discipline on that changeup.
And that's going to be one of the biggest keys. Any young player, right? Can you lay off of that? And it comes back to what you were talking about earlier, Andy, is like having an idea of how you're going to get attacked. Saw it out of the hand, saw it down.
It's a ground ball to second. It's Torres, and Baez meets Sajasi as he has to collapse on the ball, so they get 1 out at second base. Gorman to third, Church to first.
It looked like Torres' feed was a little bit up the line. Probably had to come off the bag. And wisely makes the tag. You never know if they're going to call it a forced play. You want to make sure you get that runner.
In an era of replay, there is no more neighborhood vicinity over at second base.
Yeah. He was close enough.
Here's Paez. First and third, 1 out. He grounded to third his first time, and that's fouled away. So you saw the Tigers bullpen up and loosening. It's Emmanuel De Jesus, who hasn't thrown since Monday for the Tigers. The left-hander is up and loosening just outside of Adams' position over there in left field. 0-1. That's there on a fastball, a 2-seamer, 0-2.
He's coming right at him. Fastballs for days for Montero. Looks like he settled in from pitching out of the stretch a little bit.
He said before this season that he wanted to go full bore every inning instead of holding some stuff back, as he felt like he had done coming out of the bullpen in previous years. 0-2. Looping liner down into left. That's a base hit. Paez, tremendous 2-strike effort, and it is 2-1. And on the back end of it, Church, who can really fly, gets to third.
That was a great read by Church. How about the job here by Pedro Paez? Gets a slider. It's away on the corner, but it's elevated enough for him to be able to get to it, serve it into left field, and cut this game in half.
How about Church? He's running right in front of Riley Green in left field. That's where getting to the ball quickly, but that's aggressive base running. And that's what the Cardinals are going to be doing. Young, youthful teams.
They knock Montero out. De Jesus comes in, and a 2-1 score after this. Tomorrow, don't miss the Feel So Good comedy St. Dennis Medical. It's an all-new episode tomorrow on NBC and Peacock. And Manuel De Jesus comes in for Kader Montero. They pitched together for Team Venezuela in the World Baseball Classic. And there's a bunt try from Victor Scott to start the night for De Jesus.
Well, this is something that Victor Scott II has been working on every single day in spring training. He'll steal some hits with the bunt. I mean, this is a weapon that he really wanted to have in his arsenal. Got a couple of bunt hits already.
Corner infielders are in and holding the line, and he does jab this down, coming back to De Jesus, and he spins it down the line. The Cardinals have tied the game and will hold up with second and third, but that is exactly why he's done it, Brad. This game is tied as he forces De Jesus' hand.
Trust him to get it down. A little bit of a safety squeeze, right? See it down, and you are going. Vic is so good at this year. That pitch was away, able to deaden it in front of the plate, and then that's what speed does. You know you have to rush that throw to be able to get one of the fastest runners in the league. Throws it up the line, and all of a sudden the Cardinals got something going again.
It's Victor Scott and Trey Turner at the top of the leaderboard for fastest guys early on in Major League Baseball. And the Cardinals have tied the game here in the fifth, second and third. Still just 1 out, and so much pressure on the defense as Weatherholt stands in.
And how about the job too, as we were talking about the base running of Church to be able to go first to third, allow that to happen.
I mean, it's not exactly Ducky Medwick and the 1934 Cardinals, but you feel like there's a little like Gas House Gang redo going on here.
Look, you got to figure out ways to manufacture, and that's what this club is going to try to do. Try to figure out ways. They want to drive the ball out of the ballpark, but you got to figure out ways to get the ball down, hit and run, take the extra base, right? Going first to third, manufacture.
Yeah, especially for a young team, it gives you confidence. Be able to score runs. Use the assets you have.
2-1. That's a high fly ball straight away. Parker Meadows moving in on it. He makes the catch. And no tag from third and Pages. We are still tied at 2, and the crowd shows some reverence for the Meadows throw.
It's a good job by Parker to get back behind the ball and come up to make a strong throw very quickly. Because Pages is going to read the throw a little bit and see, no, that's going to be too close. Pages doesn't have the speed to try to make it home on a play like that.
So 2 out. Herrera the batter. Ivan Herrera has worn out left-handed pitching at points as there is ball 1.
You'll see De Jesus' cutter. Looks almost like a slider. It's about 86, 85 miles an hour. But he'll try to work that back door, and then he'll work it back foot as well to the righties.
Brad, what does he like to see from left-handers?
I was going to say I'd be more inclined to work it back foot than I would be back door, because if that one comes back and catches more of the plate, Herrera loves to be able to get extended, right?
Yeah.
So if you leave something out there, it's got a good chance he can hurt it. There is some room inside.
2-0. Herrera opposite way for a Cardinals lead into right field. Both runs come home. It is 4-2.
That's what you're talking about, Brad.
Right on time, right? It is the cutter. He tried to go back door and just got extended, drove this thing to right field. He's got a good approach. See that inside out idea. He knew what he was trying to do with that pitch, able to drive it that way.
Gives him a lot of ways to get hits. Good bat path. Doesn't have to be perfect timed up, because De Jesus has a changeup too, so he knows runners in scoring position. He's probably not just going to come at me with a fastball down the middle.
Lights out.
I mean, Adam, you pitched in the era where people really started talking about home run ball being so important to the game and how difficult it is to string together 4 hits in an inning. What have you seen from this Cardinals 5th here, as we do get a challenge, and that is a strike? So Dingler challenges. Burleson called on a strike there. What have you seen this half inning, Adam, from your perch?
Yeah, a bunch of guys passing the baton. You know, not trying to do it all themselves, not trying to swing too big, using the whole field. Good things happen when you make things happen. You know, the Victor Scott bunt was a big part of that, forcing them to field a little bit. And Herrera, I just thought that was a great approach right there. Gets a cutter, doesn't try to do too much with it. To their point, 2 guys in the booth's point, stays inside it, shoots it to right field. Really good contact hitting.
4 singles, and Scott ends up actually with a sacrifice E1, but he obviously made damage happen as well. So 3 singles and the squeeze in this half inning, and St. Louis leading by a pair.
Well, you love the approach here by the Cardinals. Their hitting coach Brant Brown talks about something. He says there's a time to hit and a time to slug, right? You got to pick your opportunities. That was a time to hit right there by Herrera, drove in a run.
RBI guys, take your hits.
Yes.
Take your hits.
Yes.
They don't all have to go over the fence. Thought it was interesting. Victor Scott, he squared around the first time, bunted it foul. So you'd almost think, nah, he's not going to try it again. No chance. But the confidence to be able to do it a second time.
It was perfect.
Well, you saw I don't think Torres thought he was going to do it. He was late to the bag. De Jesus came up.
It is such an element to speed in the game, and obviously Major League Baseball has wanted that. They've done that with the bigger bases, the pickoffs.
This is up the middle, and it's Baez behind the bag making the play to retire the side, but St. Louis pounds out 4 runs in the inning, trying to salvage one in Game 3 against the Tigers. Baez made sure it wasn't more. Bottom of the 5th inning, Sunday Night Baseball comes to Detroit this week, and Kevin McGonigal The 21-year-old for the Tigers takes ball one as St. Louis has flipped this game with a 4-run top half of the 5th. And now the attention turns to 28-year-old Kyle Leahy in his 3rd career major league start. He went 5 innings his last start, his opening start this year, and he said that he felt a little bit of that fatigue as we closed his outing last time.
He did. He went out for the 6th inning, gave up a couple of hits. This pitch right here will actually be a career high in pitches.
McGonigal hits one high in the air, deep to right field, and this will stay in the ballpark. Scott makes the call and puts it away for out number 1. So it's Gleyber Torres coming up, then Kerry Carpenter here in the 5th inning. Carpenter on deck. Batter up with FanDuel. Live look at Kerry Carpenter's batter up odds for plate appearance number 3. See the over-under number of pitches. Well, last time he went 1 pitch. First time he went 6 pitches. That's why they put it at 3.5. They're so smart.
They know what they're doing over there. They know what they're doing.
6 + 1 = 7. Divided by 2 is 3.5.
Lost me.
Math was never my thing either,
Okay.
Andy.
Okay. Thanks for joining our Sunday night Mensa meeting.
More of a reader at times.
That's tough for me too.
Yeah, I just like
That's a
baseball.
Strike on Torres. 1 ball, 1 strike. Andy Dirks, Brad Thompson, Jason Benetti, Adam Ottavito down the line in left field. Thank you all for being here. It's been a fun night so far.
It's been great. It's been an entertaining game. Got to see a lot of young talent on both sides here. This is fun.
Dirks, thank you for being so hospitable, sharing your position in the Tigers booth with Brad.
I do feel like I've jumped in on
Yeah, no, I love it. I love having Brad here. Anytime I can get a guy next to me that has hand warmers, and he was gracious enough to give me one.
Yeah.
And I might wear it on my nose.
You should.
Like the person and the. She had glasses though, and that was a nice look.
Is it?
Can I borrow your glasses?
Sure. Yeah, you do the play-by-play while we're at it.
The only reason I had those to give to you too, Andy, is because I stole my kids' electronic ones for myself. I hope it's not cold in St. Louis.
Here's a looper into right field. Jordan Walker makes the catch quickly. 2 down in the 5th for Leahy. If there are kids outside freezing at like a soccer game or something, you'll know it's the Thompson children.
Yeah, no, they're going to be cold. That's why they built pockets, I guess.
Kerry Carpenter wasn't waiting around to get cold in the box back in the 3rd.
No, he wasn't, and he definitely didn't want to see Leahy's changeup. So it'll be interesting to see how he approaches this at bat with nobody on. Is he going to be patient, or is he going to come out of the box swinging? I'm going to guess he's going to be aggressive. Stay aggressive against Leahy. Don't let him get ahead in the count.
Adam, what do you think as a pitcher? What do you think that he thinks that you're thinking here?
That's the game sometimes, right? You got to stare into the batter's soul and make a decision. For me,
it's cold out there.
I still think he's going to be aggressive here in the zone. He's looking for one thing only. Probably assuming they're not going to go back to the 4-seam fastball. So I'm guessing he's hunting an off-speed pitch here.
We got an ABS challenge, and it is a strike. Kerry Carpenter kind of knew it. He nodded. That's the greatness of the batter reaction in the ABS challenge system powered by T-Mobile here. He was like, yeah, I guess. He kind of felt it in his heart.
It's about as close as you're going to get right there.
It's just not a pitch you ever want to hit.
No, although it's close to a pitch that he hit out the other day.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
And then he gets into swing.
This is what you don't want to see from Leahy right now. His changeup's been so filthy today. That little Vulcan grip or whatever he has going on. That thing is diving.
Getting some silly swings. Everybody out on that front foot would certainly be inclined to do it again. The big key is in charge of this count here. 1-2 under the zone. Can't make that mistake. Elevated. He's already shown you what he can do in the zone. He can go down and get it.
1-2. Leahy. Oh, just missed with a fastball. Good idea, though, Brad.
Well, and maybe at 2-2, right? You showed that fastball down there. Weren't afraid to compete with it. Throw that changeup right off of it. I like the idea. What do you think out there, Adam?
I think he's got a good view of the bottom of the zone now. I'd actually go away from it.
He went way away. He missed with a curveball. So now 3-2. What do you ride with?
I think I'm going back to the changeup now.
Showed him a little different look, something up in the zone there with that breaking ball.
I mean, he's got a great changeup. He's got 5 whiffs on 8 swings, so you got to ride that right here.
3-2 from Leahy. Yeah, he missed outside with a curveball. Interesting. Why do you think he would have done that, Adam?
There was a little bit of indecision about what he thought Carpenter was looking for, and obviously he's got in the back of his mind, this guy just took me deep last at bat. So they tried to go off the menu. They didn't want to go change up in case he's hunting that. They didn't want to go back to the fastball since that got hit last time. So they decided to go to something completely out of left field, which is the curveball. Unfortunately, he didn't land any of those two.
It's a walk instead. 2 out. Riley Green coming to the plate, and we step aside for this.
ACE's YardRx program prescribes the best lawn care specific to your yard's needs. Delivered free. Subscribe now and save 20% on everything you need all year.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
So the situation is this. Runner at first, 2 out. Soriano is loosening. Riley Green saw changeup, fastball, slider to a base hit last time. So he saw 3 different pitches from Leahy. His first one here does not land. It's a breaking ball, 1-0. So Adam, he's thrown him 4 distinct pitches the last 4 pitches.
Yeah, just trying to keep him guessing, keep him mixing it up. This is a spot where home run is what beats you here. So you got to pitch away from the home run here a little bit.
That's why sweeper changeup, 2-0.
That's a great take by Riley. Dial it in here. He's thinking one thing. Fastball, pull side. Way back.
To Adam's point, is he going to see a fastball in the sequence here? He did. It was off the plate, 3-0.
Well, that's what happens too when you're thinking about that. You know that this guy is incredibly dangerous. You want to make perfect pitches. All of a sudden you fall in a hole. 3-0. George Soriano is getting ready. He's been throwing the ball well.
He likely will furnish a face full of sliders to Dylan Dingler if Green gets on base, I'd imagine.
I would totally agree with that.
3-1 to Riley Green. Tying run at the plate for the Tigers, and he decided to take a pass at a breaking ball.
This is where, like Adam said, probably back to the changeup, something different. He threw him a fastball 3-0. But I don't know if he wants to go back to that well against Riley.
Be worried about that sweeper too, catching a little bit too much of the play coming back. I do like the idea of turning one over here with that changeup.
3-2. Green gives a curveball a ride into right center, and Scott runs it down. He didn't miss by much, but the Cardinals maintain the lead. 4-2 after 5. Brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Travel along the third base line at Comerica Park, the home of the Tigers since the year 2000 when they came over from Old Tiger Stadium. Here in downtown Detroit, the Lions playing not far from here at Ford Field, Little Caesars Arena, with the Red Wings and the Pistons, who are the 1 seed in the East in the NBA playoffs. Everybody consolidated downtown. You see the home of the Lions off in the horizon there as well. A.J. Hinch, the Tigers manager, just ran into Dan Campbell. It was a chance meeting at the NFL owners meetings. They were staying at the same hotel down in Arizona, and there they were commiserating over coaching and managing and all that they talk about in their circles.
I got a feeling those two could have some pretty good conversations.
Oh, guaranteed. And they're both very beloved by the Detroit fan base.
Dan Campbell's one of those guys. He can make an average Joe want to run through the wall for him.
That's very true. Change up, strike 3 to Jesus. Cuts down Walker, strikeout for out number 1. 5th inning, Brad, chaos on the bases, and the Cardinals put the pressure on.
Look, a double play that wasn't turned here. Then Victor Scott comes up with a big bunt, put the pressure on. Throw goes up the line. Big time disappointment there, obviously, by Montero. Then you have Pedro Pages had a big knock. I mean, Herrera goes together with a lot going on in that inning.
Well, you talked about for the Cardinals, chaos on the base paths.
Yep.
First to third by Church. Like a lot of things happening on the bases, and that's what the Tigers have to do, is don't let those free passes happen and play clean baseball. That was the goal coming into the series. They played pretty good the last couple of games, and tonight a few of those plays didn't turn the double play. Big breaks for the Cardinals. They took advantage.
Baseball, right? Put pressure on the opposition. That's a big deal.
0-2 is down. Adam, you were drafted by the Cardinals back in 2006. The Cardinal way at that point was what?
It's hard to put that into words, but for me, you know, really it was learning from Dave Duncan, the great Dave Duncan, figuring out his strategies, you know, how to get guys out in the big league level.
Baez completes out number 2, you were saying?
How to have big league habits. You know, I'd follow the lead of the veterans. You know, we talked on the opening of the show about how this is such a young team right now, but that was not the case at the time. Veteran-laden team, Tony La Russa, Dave Duncan, a lot of know-how, and just trying to learn from it, you know.
Yeah, doing things the right way, too, was always part of it with the Cardinals. The details mattering. When I'm thinking Cardinal way, I'm thinking about, like, you can do it and you can get results, but did you do it correctly? That was always something that Tony La Russa would focus on in spring training. We'd do a bunt play, and you'd get the out, but maybe if one person was a hair off of where they needed to be, blow it up, we're doing it again. Details matter still.
High fly ball down the right field line for Sajasi, deep into that corner and secured by Kerry Carpenter in a quick 1-2-3 inning in the 6th. Brad Thompson, drew your eyes.
Sign me up. I could have used some of those throughout my career. Are you kidding me? With 3 of them, what a day for Joe Adell.
Root crew, Andy Dirks getting hot in the Central.
Pat Murphy's baseball team is playing really good, and Bryce Terang. This guy's hitting the ball for extra bases this year. He had almost 800 OPS last year. He's a star to make it.
Yankee starters are nasty, Ottavino.
Yeah, particularly the trio of Fried, Schlittler, and Will Warren to open the season been absolutely dominant. They don't even have their big guys back yet.
Dexter Fowler, the loudest shirt on set and the loudest wallets for the young guys.
Money, money, money. These young bucks are getting paid before they even take any at-bats. This is crazy.
Dexter, do you feel a little bit like, hey, why didn't that happen when I was trying to?
I definitely felt like that. But, you know, back then I'm dating myself, but back then that was unheard of.
Are you warm wherever you are as Soriano comes in? Where are you guys? You and Ahmed taking this game in?
You know what? I don't know where Ahmed's at, but I'm in the warmth. I'm in the press box with everybody up here. It's kind of quiet. It's like a library.
Yeah, right.
I gotta whisper.
Yeah, Dexter Fowler on 16. 2-0 from Soriano to Dylan Dingler, and he shakes him down with a fastball. 3 balls and no strikes. There's Ahmed Fareed.
Dexter's,
hi, buddy.
He's warm. He's
Where
somewhere
are you?
warm.
Hey, I spy.
You out with the people, Ahmed?
I am. I'm out here in center field.
The man of the people.
I was investigating it a little bit, Jason.
What kind of view you got out there?
It's a great view.
It's a cold one.
I was looking at it. We were just looking at the home run by Kerry, right?
Yeah.
I don't know 4 years ago if that's a home run because they moved the fences in 10 feet. Still a pitcher's park, though, here. So we just want to get a better view of it out here, Jason.
That's a great look. Good to have you, Ahmed, as always. Great to be your teammate again. As that's ball 4. Dylan Dingler is on, and the Tigers have the leadoff man aboard, as they did in the 3rd when Carpenter homered.
Well, that is exactly what Soriano and the Cardinals did not need to have happen. You know, those leadoff walks, they come back and bite you. He's hoping to execute some pitches. You know that he likes to utilize that slider quite a bit. Love to see you on the ground right here with Meadows.
First one to Meadows is a heater, and strike 1. So, Adam, with Soriano's stuff as it is, how are you attacking left-handers?
I think it depends on the situation. In this situation, you are looking for a ground ball and a ball in play. He does have some ground ball ability, so I'm looking for a changeup away, keep him honest with some fastballs in, steal strikes with breaking balls. Here's the changeup.
There is that changeup you're talking about. Why do you like the changeup in this situation?
Well, you're looking to get contact on the ground prior to 2 strikes. Once you get 2 strikes, to go for the kill here. But prior to that, if you want contact, you want on the ground, give yourself a chance for 2 outs. Changeup is the pitch du jour for that situation.
A little French for you, too, down the left field line. We like that. 0-2 on Meadows. Dingler at first for the Tigers. There's a changeup that's up. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 right-handers to follow, but A.J. Hinch does like to pinch hit. He has a left-hander on the bench, and Zach McKinstry. See if he would do that for Baez 2 batters later.
This is something the Tigers got way better at over the last year. Extending at bats up and down the order. The length of this order just keeps getting more and more dangerous. And if you stack quality at bats on top of each other throughout a lineup, you're going to score a lot of runs.
Well, wears down a bullpen too. Inevitably, at some point, a guy's going to make a mistake if you can foul off enough tough ones.
There it is again. So Adam, deep in a count like this, what do you have to remind yourself of foul ball after foul ball?
You have to read the foul balls. To me, he's late still. He was under that changeup. So to me, he could be exposed up top, higher than high with a fastball here. But that's the key with a foul ball. Don't just get the foul ball. Pay attention to what happened with it.
1-2. He went slider, and it ends up in right field. Parker Meadows labels it. Dingler to third. Meadows takes the single, and the Tigers have first and third in the 6th.
Well, Adam just hit the nail on the head, right? The swing was right on time for this slider. This is in the zone. Drop the head on it. That's where the lefty likes it. Down and in. Shoots it right past Alec Burleson. And now things are moving for the Tigers.
You see Parker swinging free and easy. He's had some good at-bats today and in the series. Now the Tigers are in business.
They have a makeshift Torkelson. Not only did they have the big head there, but they had the jersey attached to the big head.
Yeah, they did. It's kind of like a bobblehead.
It takes some work. Torkelson first and third. Nobody out. First pitch. It's a slider. Strike 1. So you know these situations, Adam. Right on right, big spot, middle of the game. Where's your head?
I'd like to trade the run for 2 outs here. You can't let this become a crooked number. As much trouble as you're in here, you got to focus on this batter here. Don't worry about that runner on third, but make sure that that runner on first doesn't score. So pitch for the double play or the strikeout if you get to 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's where Tork's going to try to use a big part of the field, get the ball up a little bit, hit something in the air to the outfield.
On 0-1 from Soriano. There goes Meadows from first. Throw down to second is wide of the bag. Meadows is safe with a Tigers stolen base. So aggressive by the Tigers, and now the double play is out of order.
Very aggressive by the Tigers, and Parker Meadows can absolutely fly. They saw Soriano with the big leg kick, not really paying much attention to the runner at first base because he was so dialed in on the hitter.
He got a good job right there. I know that throw was on the off side of the bag. Even if it was on it, I feel like that hand still would have snuck in there for Meadows.
2 strikes. Oh, that was a hittable slider for Torkelson.
Got him an emergency hack. Looked like he thought that was going to be the sinker in. You can see the frustration on his face. And this ball straight up got on him. He wanted to take it like it was going to be a sinker, and at the last minute, just had to stay alive.
0-2. In the dirt. Nice block by Pages.
That is good work right there. That is not easy. That slider is in the opposite batter's box. Pounces to keep it in front.
Getting all of it right there.
Spencer Torkelson, former first overall pick for the Tigers, who's been through the ringer of going back to AAA and then back to the big leagues. 2-2 on Torkelson, and A.J. Hinch even said it to us before the game. He's dealt with all the pressure in the majors and everything that comes with being an organizational savior. He's got a big spot here on 2-2 from Soriano. Tried to swing, and finally he checked it up. 3-2. So Adam, seeing that swing from Torkelson, what's your pleasure here? 3-2.
I would like to see him throw a backdoor sinker. A sinker come back to the outside corner. I'm pretty sure he'll lock him up. I don't know if he has that in his game, but that's what I'd be thinking.
He's thrown maybe 1 out of every 5 pitches this year as a sinker to a right-hander.
Yeah, it's just 3 takes in a row off the plate away. So you start something off the plate away, run it back to the plate, you get the freeze.
On 3-2. It's a slider, and it's well off the plate. Not even close. The bases are loaded. He was trying to play with that outside corner, and that was non-competitive.
He hung that one slider on 0-2 and kind of got away with it. And then after that, he really shied away from the zone. But a little too much, non-competitive to your point.
Had the base open there. You knew he was going to try to get him to expand, swing and miss, but never had a chance out of the hand of that one.
So now it's Javier Baez.
Now does he have the confidence to stick to slider against Javi?
You have to, right? You have to go back. It's still his strength on strength, right? His strength is the slider. He's got that good fastball that he can run up there. You have a guy that expands. You got to get right back to it, take a deep breath, and execute.
You got to get ahead right here, though?
No doubt. No doubt. But I think
because if you start off the plate away and he starts taking a couple, you end up 2-0.
You're right. You end up being in trouble.
Soriano with the bases loaded. 4-2 Cardinals in the 6th. That ball shot to right field. Walker does have it for St. Louis. Dingler tags from third. He is home, and the Tigers have their 3rd run. That was a laser from Baez, and Walker ran it down 4-3.
Good job by Javi. Understand the situation of after missing with the slider several times. He's ready for the fastball, and Dingler started to go right away. He had to retreat back to the bag quickly. We know Walker's got a cannon in right, but he was a little off balance with the throw.
That was a definite good approach, though. I mean, you had it right on point. He was going to be ready for a fastball.
That's all for Soriano. A couple of left-handers coming up for the Tigers. Cardinals dip into the bullpen in a 1-run game.
Cardholders get exclusive tickets to every MLB game. Can I get a couple?
JoJo Romero comes in out of the Cardinals bullpen, which leads to A.J. Hinch, the manager for the Tigers, starting to use his bench, Andy.
Yeah, and he loves to use the bench for good reason. There's guys like Jahmai Jones who's stepping to the plate now, and Matt Vierling. He'll stack the lefties back-to-back in the lineup and then be able to use the righties as soon as they bring a lefty in, to where he doesn't have huge pockets of same-side hitters.
Jahmai Jones is a specialist against left-handers. It was amazing, Adam, how many times A.J. Hinch turned to look at you in our meeting before the game, because he kept saying, I didn't want to have a guy like you have 3 straight righties.
Yeah, I felt a little targeted there, I'm not going to lie, but I get it. I mean, I love facing righties, so anytime the manager could mess me up a little bit with a couple of lefties that I couldn't avoid, yeah, it made my job a lot harder.
You know, Colt Keith has had a great start to the season, but Jahmai Jones ups your ability to do damage. He is on the bench to hit left-handers in this situation. 0-2 for Jones. That's up the middle, off the mound to second. Weatherholt the feed, and they did get the out there. It's on the exchange. Sajasi couldn't complete the double play, but the exchange was where the drop happened. So Carlos Torres says it's out number 2, and we'll watch it again.
Well, the Cardinals hoping the same thing doesn't happen to them. A double play that should have been turned, it turns into runs right there. It looked like Sajasi was going to be able to turn this easy on the transfer, just pops out on him.
That's the right call by Torres on the fly at second base. It's out number 2, and now you have Kevin McGonigal, who grew up watching Chase Utley, and A.J. Hinch said to us before the game, it makes every bit of sense that he did. Just a baseball grinder. He loves the details, and now here, left on left against JoJo Romero, the left-handed former Philly. Kevin McGonigal, you know, 6 years ago, he's 15, he's a Phillies fan, he's watching JoJo Romero. Now he's facing JoJo Romero with the game on the line in game number 9 of his major league career, and he somehow held up on that slider.
Such a good take. That is the way that JoJo is going to approach the lefties. He is going to try to get you to expand on that slider. It is a really good one. He's got a good fastball that he can run at the top also.
Ball 3. So Gleyber Torres would be next. A right-hander who, Andy, you mentioned earlier, hits lefties very well.
Yeah, and it's going to be a professional at bat, which is exactly what we're also seeing here with McGonigal. This guy's got a great eye, good approach at the plate.
It's in.
3-0. It's inside. It's ball 4. And Romero does have to face the right-hander here because it is the third batter that he'll face. So it's a 3-batter minimum or you get out of the inning. So the double play, Brad, that didn't get turned looms enormously in this inning.
It does. Look, JoJo has got something for the righties as well. He's not afraid to use that changeup. It's a good one, turns it over, but you'd much rather not be in this spot.
First pitch, a strike on a slider. You know Gleyber Torres, Adam. I know you're a righty. What do you like here?
Now that he's 0-1, I'd like to rush him up in with a fastball. Don't let him dive. Keep him honest.
Ball.
Went away again with a sinker. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I agree with Adam, too, because you know what Gleyber's trying to do here. He's going to try to hit the ball to right field. If he hangs something, he'll pull it anyways, but he's got such a steady approach up the middle the other way in these type of situations.
Yeah, the dirt.
His natural swing is to right field.
And it allows him to see the ball. So if you rush him in, then he's got to quicken his hands up and you get weak contact up in the air. Little weak pop fly to right, something like that.
Two and 1 to Torres. From JoJo Romero. On the ground right at shortstop. Sajasi the feed and the Cardinals escape. A 6th inning that got hairy. 4-3 to the 7th. Watching Sunday Night Baseball on Peacock, presented by Capital One. Fascinating baseball game so far. A bunch of tactical moves from each manager. JoJo Romero comes in early in this game for a left-hander in a high leverage spot, Brad, and gets the job done.
That was it. Look, there was a necessity there. Didn't want to have to bring him in that early, but he ends up getting the job done. You'd have to imagine he'd go back out there again next inning. You got 2 lefties coming up in Carpenter and Green, so Ollie trying to figure out how he's going to navigate his way through. He's got a couple of his big dogs still left. Riley O'Brien and Ryan Stanek both still available, well rested.
Ryan Stanek, the Methuselah of this baseball team at age 34.
Right? Salty veteran.
It's a very young Cardinals team, the youngest team by age in all of Major League Baseball. As DeJesus gets a swing and a miss, strike 3 and 1 away. Church goes down here in the 7th. So Andy Dirks, Brad Thompson, Jason Benetti up here in the booth. Adam Ottavino, we've placed near the bullpen, close enough to the bullpen in Seattle last week to get a coffee from Matt Festa of Cleveland. How's your view out there today of the bullpen?
I love this view today. I got a great view. I mean, I could almost get hit with a pitch while these guys are warming up, so I feel like I'm part of it.
You're seeing Connor Siebold throw right now in the Tigers bullpen. Yeah, you got a clean look there?
Yep, got a great view of it.
What are you watching in somebody's warm-ups? You got anything you want to watch, or is it just rote?
Well, I know from experience that it doesn't really matter how sharp you are down here, but at the same time, it's interesting to see the little cues that the coach is feeding them. You know, I get an idea of what he's working on and stuff like that.
You also have a good look at the circular hole that if a fly ball goes through, everybody in Detroit wins a pizza. So on a home run, if a ball goes through that, everybody in Detroit wins a pizza.
There's a lot of people in Detroit, too. That's a lot of pizzas.
A lot of people. Yeah, it's not just everybody in the stadium. It's everybody in Detroit.
Not one made it in last year, so they made the hole a little bigger.
That's correct. That's a filthy changeup from DeJesus, who's got back-to-back strikeouts after his performance with Team Venezuela in the WBC.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about the logistical nightmare of pizzas for everybody in Detroit, but that's a logistical nightmare right there. That changeup tumbling down and away from Pedro Pages. Great action on that.
Two down, left on left. DeJesus is in with a strike to Victor Scott, who really flipped this game with his bunt early.
He did. It's such a weapon to have, and it was one that he tried to pull out last year and just wasn't as comfortable with it.
Breaking ball, he flies to the left field side. Adam, he got it here?
No, that's...
I meant does Riley Green.
Oh, yeah.
You got a good look at it. Stretch time here at Comerica Park.
Come inside. night, Sunday night. Welcome to the show. Sunday night, let's go. Come on, see the show.
Just a taste of our new Sunday Night Baseball Open starring the multi-platinum Grammy Award-winning Zac Brown Band. The full Open debuts next Sunday and set up first pitch every Sunday night on NBC and Peacock. And that's who's going to join us next week. Andrew Jones, Corey Kluber, CC Sabathia is our crew for Guardians Braves. A huge game early. Atlanta's been playing great baseball. Guardians as well, just split with the Cubs. That's going to be a fun booth. But they got something to top here tonight from you two.
Yeah, I don't know about that. We're having a blast, though.
Yeah.
That is a
as long
great
as we're having
booth.
fun. That will be great.
Is that all that matters, I think?
I think that's it, isn't it?
Got a good game, a lot of things to break down. Are you having a good time? That's what matters to me.
I'm just glad that you guys brought top coats.
Yes, no, it was very smart. Very smart.
This has been great. Brad's bag is like Mary Poppins' bag. He just keeps pulling new stuff out that we're playing with.
Booth mom here. Whatever you need, I've got it in there.
Yeah, he's got clementines. It's great. 4-3 Cardinals with the lead. Our game summary: 8 batters, 4 runs, 3 hits. Kerry Carpenter, a 2-run home run for the Tigers as we hit the 7th inning. And Matt Vierling, the St. Louis native, is going to bat here in the 7th. So again, A.J. Hinch pinch hitting. Vierling snaps at the first pitch and flies out to Walker. So Vierling hits for Kerry Carpenter, Andy, who homered earlier.
Yeah, and this is just something that the Tigers always do. Everybody knows, like, what's the better matchup at the time? It's nothing against the player that is getting hit for. It's about the guy on the bench and what he can do. Matt Vierling hit an opposite field home run yesterday. He's very athletic, great right fielder, and he liked the matchup better with Romero versus Vierling.
So 1 away. They'll go left on left with Riley Green. And strike 1. Let's check in with Ahmed Fareed.
Jason, part of the story with the Tigers in Comerica Park is the big outfield, and we saw it last at bat for Riley Green, 394-foot out. In fact, on Friday, the Tigers had 2 400-foot plus outs. To compare that to the Cardinals at Busch Stadium, all of last season, they had 3. And the Tigers had 2 in this series so far. So it really is always part of the story of the Tigers, the offense trying to find some of that. It's a big outfield, as the guys know here.
And one of the things they've done, Ahmed, to play to this ballpark is take the extra base. That is a major league record for number of announcers whose headsets didn't work. We have 17 announcers and nobody's headset worked for 45 seconds. So we apologize about that. But we are back up and running.
Jason, I'm new to this home booth. I really need to plug something in. I don't know. Was that the wrong thing?
Why did you bring your blender?
That's on me. I just thought everybody would like a nice healthy snack.
Just a quick acai bowl from Brad Thompson and got us all in trouble.
That'll be my last invite here.
Yeah, that's what happens sometimes.
It is delicious, though, isn't it?
Yeah, boy, it's tasty.
That peanut butter in there really took it over the top.
I'm a protein, never hurt anybody.
Eighth inning here in Comerica Park. 4-3 St. Louis with the lead. Matt Vierling stays in the game. He is in right field as the Tigers went quietly in the 7th in a 1-2-3 inning. Weatherholt against DeJesus, who has retired 7 consecutive batters after coming in for Kader Montero in the 5th. Close ball game, good ball game. Thank you for sticking with us through our slight carnage. And the 1-2 is hit towards shortstop and through. Man, there are the quick hands of the rookie J.J. Weatherholt.
Well, this is what J.J. showed off a lot in spring training, was his willingness to go the other way with the baseball. You know, a lot of young kids want to be able to pull. This one's a cutter. It's up. It's away from him, and he shoots it right there through the left side.
I love the confidence of a young left-handed hitter against a left-handed pitcher to stay in there. You know, you didn't see that front side pull out, even a cutter that kind of starts at his right shoulder, bears down.
Tigers will go deeper into the bullpen. Connor Seabold was loosening. He'll enter in the 8th after this. The biggest film events of the year will hit theaters this week as Mario and his friends travel across entire galaxies to stop Bowser Jr. from destroying the universe as we know it. It's the Super Mario Galaxy movie in theaters now. Connor Seabold is on for the Tigers here in the 8th.
I think you got another job. Movie trailers galore. I'm going to sit down at the theater and hear Jason Benetti every single time. Can't wait.
In a world where the Cardinals lead by 1. Connor Seabold's first pitch is up and out, ball 1 for Herrera, who punched a single in the 5th to drive in a couple of runs.
It was such a good stroke too. Inside out, simple swing.
Go to first by Seabold.
That open stance he has he been rocking that pretty much his whole career?
It has evolved over the last couple of years, but this year even a little bit more open, but the hands are so tight. He gets a good load into that back leg, straightens up with it. But yeah, he's just comfortable. He wants to be open to the ball, strides back to closed.
Looks like a guy that's ready to hit.
He is absolutely ready to pull the trigger.
He gets those hands back, and the pitcher hasn't even delivered the ball yet. It looks like he's about ready to launch.
And he can hang back there too. He does a good job of picking up some of the off-speed pitches, even though he's already committed with the lower half.
Ball. 3 balls, no strikes on Herrera. 3-0 swing guy.
Well, you pick your spots, right? I think that it's going to have to be right pitch, right spot. He is one of the guys, though, that you trust.
Weatherholt at first. Cardinals by a run in the 8th. That's ball 4, and I'm going to swing at that. 2 on, nobody out. MLB Together is baseball's platform embodying the sport's commitment to philanthropic causes and mental wellness efforts by teams, players, and the league. To learn more, scan the QR code or visit MLBtogether.com. 2 on, nobody out. Alec Burleson is the batter. First pitch. Drifts over the outside half, 0-1.
It's a tough matchup here. Burleson, he's a very, very professional hitter against a right-handed pitcher that, you know, has some stuff but is struggling with command.
Time.
Adam, what do you got on that changeup?
That was nasty. He pulled it out. You know, a bunch of fastballs in that first at-bat. I love the pitch calling going right to the changeup. You got to switch it up after you throw 3 fastballs out of the zone, not even competitive. So I love that they went to that right there.
The masked man Burleson behind 0-2 from Seabold. He cranks it in the air to center field. Parker Meadows makes the catch. Weatherholt wants third, and he's in there standing. So the Cardinals have first and third with 1 out for Jordan Walker.
Getting the job done here. 0-2. Tried to elevate with the fastball. Did get the pop fly, but far enough for JJ to get himself 90 feet closer.
It's impressive after that changeup too, to get up to that heater.
Yeah, he's so hard to strike out. He's one of the toughest guys to punch out in the league, and I understand the idea, trying to change the eye level. Thought process
Good
probably
pitch.
was going right back to the changeup. Yeah, just quick hands by Burleson.
So you can get ground ball.
That's what Seabold wants. Walker takes that sweeper away. How do you get that ground ball, Adam?
I like his changeup. I think that's his best pitch. It's got great drop on it. You're going to pick away at the corner with the breaking ball, but I think if he has to come over the plate, it should be a changeup.
Setup is right down the middle from Dylan Dingler. And there it was, and a nice take by Walker.
Swing decisions, that's what we talked about all game long with Jordan. That's what he's talked about all season long. Not offering at pitches like that. Get him in counts like this where he can hopefully drive a fastball.
2-0. He spit on a cutter. 3 balls, no strikes.
So maturity.
Big time.
This is what you've been seeing.
Big time, and that is the next step for him. He's got all the raw power in the world. We got a chance to see that with the grand slam in the ball game yesterday, but it's about not fishing, not trying to do what the pitcher is trying to get you to do.
3-0 again from Seabold. That's a called strike. Each team has 1 challenge remaining. Walker doesn't use it there.
Still got an uphill battle here. We saw him hit a fastball a long way yesterday. Seabold's got to make a decision.
He landed the fastball there, 3-1, and he went changeup, and he missed down low. Adam, the 2 changeups he threw him for balls weren't close enough to the strike zone to get the swing.
No, you talked about the maturity of Walker. He's looking for 1 pitch in 1 spot there, and he did a good job staying disciplined with that. Understanding the situation, understanding that they're a little bit afraid of him here, you know, and really zoning one up.
With Nolan Gorman coming up with the bases loaded, we'll step aside for this for a moment.
Ride the Baja Wave and refresh your senses with a blast of tropical lime flavor. Grab a Mountain Dew Baja Blast today. Do the do.
Since Nolan Gorman has been in the league average ground ball percentage is 44% of the time. He is at 29% of the time, Brad.
Yeah, he is in the air. This is a guy that he's pull side pop. You got to be very careful. We talked about the changeup from Seabold. It is a good one. It better be down. If he leaves something up, that snap hook right there into the swing of Gorman. But he's looking to do some damage. I'd expect him to be ready to pull the trigger early, especially if he gets anything straight.
Bases loaded, 1 out from Seabold. That's called inside for a ball. That's a close pitch. Might have been worth the challenge. Might have gotten the zone there. Tigers have 1 remaining. That's one of those, Adam. I mean, you heard so much when you were pitching. Strike one, flip the count. That might be worth the challenge to get somebody to 0-1, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, I thought that was a challenge, no doubt. I'm surprised he didn't pull the trigger there. I don't think he got a great look at it.
How do you keep Gorman out of pull side power here?
Oh, that's easier said than done. Outside, everything outside. Make him pull an outside pitch. That's probably the method there.
Brad, you've seen him a lot. How does he do his damage?
So, look, he's doing his damage to the pull side. He can stay back and drive it the other way, but he is looking for that mistake. He's looking for it to come back over the plate, and especially in a count like this where he's got the advantage.
2-1 and a changeup and a beauty, Adam.
Yeah, he took advantage of the aggression right there. Gorman's thinking he's getting definitely a strike right here. Turns over a changeup, sells it as a strike, drops it below the zone. Beautiful.
You going to echo that? You going to go 1 more?
Yeah, if you throw the exact same pitch, that's great, but you got to bring it low, and then it's a little bit of a gambit because you're risking running 3-2 here, but I think you got it right with your best pitch. Change up again.
2-2 coming. Bases loaded. 1 out in the 8th. He missed outside with a fastball. Interesting call.
I'm with Adam there. I'm surprised. I thought he'd turn it over. Even if he missed, I thought he'd do it again.
The only spot for the fastball was in. Maybe he wanted to go in and decided at the last second. Not a good idea.
Now you got 3-2. Will he throw him a changeup here? Bases loaded. Oh, he buzzed him a fastball, and it's in the air to left field. Green is underneath. He gets behind it as he makes the catch. Weatherholt's on his way home, and he scores. Gorman does get the ball in the air. The Cardinals pick up a run. It's 5-3.
Figuring out a way to manufacture yet again. Weatherholt tagged on the fly ball to center to get to third. Got himself over there and then gets in. Just ABC baseball by the Cardinals.
And it goes back to the Tigers just allowing free base runners. The walks, those will hurt you. Come back to bite them. But, you know, fastball, 3-2 count. Don't walk another guy in. Damage control now for the Tigers with 2 outs.
Cardinals have 5 runs tonight without the benefit of an extra base hit. I looked down at the screen for a second, saw Weatherholt tagging. I thought it was Adam. It's the same spot on the screen where Adam pops up down the left field line. I thought you were running home from third, Ottavino.
They might have thrown home if it was me running from third there.
Strike 1 to Sajasi. 2 on, 2 out. The fans are singing "Living on a Prayer" here in the ballpark.
They want to keep it to a 2-run lead. They don't want to see a 3-run lead. They're trying to get behind their guy on the mound. There's also this PA system that plays music at these ballparks.
That'll happen.
Everybody kind of catches on when the song starts going, apparently.
0-2 on Sajasi. Up and in, 1-2. Sajasi was part of that Italy side that had the magical run in the World Baseball Classic.
This is where everybody would need swing and miss. You want swing and miss in situations like this. 2 outs, runner in scoring position.
And he gets swing and miss. Fastball upstairs, but the Cardinals chisel out another run to lead 5-3 in the 8th.
McCarver pops up. Here's Freehan. Detroit's the new world champion.
A pitching performance for the ages. Mickey Lolich, Bob Gibson, both complete games. Game 7 in 1968's World Series. It aired on NBC. The great Harry Carey with the call of the final out as Bill Freehan, the legendary Tigers catcher, made the grab on the final out. How about that? 2 complete games. Gibson gave up 4 earned runs. Lolich just 5 hits in a complete game victory. As Ryan Stanek, the veteran, is out of the bullpen for the Cardinals, which you'd imagine means Riley O'Brien for the 9th inning if they maintain the lead.
Yeah, look, Cardinals had it set up. Their high leverage guys were well rested coming into this one. Had to jump in a little earlier than wanted. 5th game of the season here for the veteran Stanek. The Cardinals were not very busy in the offseason in terms of free agents, but brought him in, wanted to solidify the back end of this bullpen, wanted to bring in some more swing and miss. That's something that this team did not have a ton of, and this guy brings.
You got the foul tip there for Parker Meadows. It's 0-2 from the 34-year-old Ryan Stanek. That fastball averaged 98.5 last year. League does have 4 hits on his fastball so far this season. You've been around Ryan Stanek and you've seen him pitch for a while, Adam. What do you like from his stuff?
Yeah, we were teammates with the Mets. I've seen him going back to his Rays days. I mean, he's got great velocity. He can be up to 100 miles an hour, and really the split is the pitch for me that's the equalizer, especially versus left-handers.
That one right there teased the strike zone.
Was that worth a challenge? That felt pretty close.
It was very close.
No.
A little bit low, yeah. This is why they don't let pitchers challenge.
No wonder they didn't give it to us, yeah.
He's got him with a fastball down for the freeze here. That take was a little too comfortable on the split below. So fastball down would freeze him at the knees, in my opinion.
And you've seen Ryan Stanek do that as his teammate.
Yeah, from time to time.
2-2 coming. Oh, he went upstairs with a fastball, and Meadows flies it behind second. 1 away. Cardinals will be off to our nation's capital after this series. The Tigers will head to take on the Minnesota Twins, who lost 4-1 to Tampa Bay earlier today. Dodgers Blue Jays coming up this week around Major League Baseball. A World Series rematch dotting the landscape. That Atlanta team we'll see next week before they take on Cleveland will be in Anaheim and see if they can get a home run past Joe Adell. Atlanta, good start. Drake Baldwin, strong effort so far for Atlanta. Young talent there as well.
Good
we'll
player
see next week. Mark Wegner doing a little cleaning of home plate. What with the challenge system and all, I think maybe we'd go robotic on cleaning the plate as well, like a Roomba or something.
Like it just does it itself, just flips over and cleans it.
Self-cleaning plate.
That would be good. Another $1 million idea. We're coming up with a bunch of them. Look at that little something on there. Your robot comes in. Now, is your robot, you're thinking, is it like a broom or is it a blower?
Up to debate.
Okay.
Andy and Adam, if you want to jump in on this $1 million idea, as Brad said, without sarcasm, you're welcome to.
I'm curious what Mark Rober would do. You see that guy on Netflix, YouTube at all? The engineering specialist, he would come up with a nice gadget for it.
Maybe we can get a partnership going. 3-2 on Torkelson. 1 out here in the 8th. The Tigers trying to build something. They do have the one lefty on the bench, Zach McKinstry. But Romero's placement in this game brought in the righties with the Tigers trailing. As it's 3-2 on Torkelson, and he heaves it foul.
He's going to throw in those borderline hitters just up. A little too close to take. Really tough pitch to do much with.
Stanek to Torkelson. 3-2, shoved him off the plate. It's ball 4, and the Tigers have a base runner here in the 8th. Third walk for Torkelson, who had 2 in the first 8 games.
Got to get base runners. Good patient at bat by Torkelson.
And obviously for Stanek, they're just an arm side miss. Last thing you're looking to do is give up some free passes late in a 2-run game.
Baez fouls it away. The Cardinals did make a defensive change after the top of the 8th inning to shore up the defense. Ramon Urias is into the game, playing third for Gorman.
Yeah, another one of the tactical moves late. You bring in a Gold Glover over there to tighten up.
Sharp fastball. That's sinker from Stanek. 0-2.
It doesn't get easier late in the innings to score runs nowadays. When you're down by a few, these back end relievers got good stuff.
AJ Hinch said that before the game to us. Like, sometimes you just have to pounce in the 6th or 7th because the guys in the 8th or 9th are virtually unhittable.
That's what he tried to do against Romero earlier. Bring in the righties quickly, try to score some runs.
Well, that's having trust in your process, right? You go to it. Stanek trying to get Javi Baez to expand there. That one not quite close enough.
What's the furthest you can go? What's the furthest you've ever went to expand the zone? You throw it in the other batter's box ever?
Depends who it is. At times he'll swing at that.
Yeah.
Like it just depends who you've got. Right?
But you're never afraid to go ahead and expand that thing.
No, absolutely not. You got to know your guys' tendencies.
That's a perfect breaking ball off the plate for strike 3. Baez goes down, 2 away.
Now you have Jahmai Jones coming up, who pinch hit earlier in the game for Colt Keith. And this is going to put Jahmai in a right-on-right spot. But they were taking the risk with Romero earlier. Doesn't mean Jahmai can't hit righties.
No, but to your point, that's part of the reason getting ahead of the Tigers early in the game to chase that offensive production can be important.
It is, because he's going to bring the guys off the bench, and then it makes it worse matchups later in the game for those back-end relievers. Or better matchups for the back-end relievers, worse matchups for the Tigers.
Adam, you were a matchup kind of guy. Like, how much did you like to see those right-handers come in mid-game?
Oh man, I loved it when they fired them early because then I knew I had a nice run in me late.
As you see that happening, do you start to see your pocket develop that you're going to come in for, especially later in your career?
Oh, definitely. You track the lineup, you know where the right, left, right is, or if there's a run of 3 righties. And then, you know, once you get like 3 or 4 batters away from there, you know that your name could be called any minute.
Stanek with a filthy slider on Jones, 1-2.
Tough assignment for Jones right here. He's really going to have to battle up. I mean, doesn't have a lot of at-bats. Kind of a left-handed specialist now to face a really nasty righty. He's going to have to keep that shoulder in. Look to work the ball back through the middle of the field.
1-2 is in the dirt, 2-2.
He's a competitor, though. One thing we've seen from Jemai is just when you think, yeah, I don't know, he does something spectacular. Great clubhouse guy. Team loves him.
Career high 72 games last year for the Tigers. He bounced around a number of major league clubhouses and found a home here in Detroit. I mean, A.J. Hinch is the perfect manager, you would say, Andy, right, for a guy like Jemai Jones?
Without question. If you have a special talent, A.J. Hinch will find that, and he will put you in that spot as many times as possible to succeed and try to keep you out of harm's way as much as possible. But in baseball, there's going to be times where it's going to be tougher matchups for you. You got to suck it up, get after it.
Stanek guns him down with a fastball, strike 3, and Ryan Stanek slams the door in the 8th. The Cardinals trying to salvage one. When we come back to the top of the 9th, Jones goes down. Initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, scan that QR code in the bottom left or go to playball.org and follow @playball on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Top of the 9th inning. Connor Seabold for Church. And a foul ball, strike 1 for Nathan Church, the speedy, outstanding outfielder for St. Louis, who's nothing for 3 today.
But he did go first to third.
He did, in a big spot for St. Louis with a ball in left field.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, right? Put a little pressure on out there on Green, and look, he didn't get to the ball quickly. They took advantage. He came in to score.
That's why I like to see in players. You're not always going to get a hit every night, but if you can contribute to a win, whether it be on the bases with your defense, managers like guys that contribute in multiple ways. Not just, you know, get the hit. No, you're not going to get the hit every day.
That's something that Ollie and his staff do after each day. The next day they'll go over some of the good stuff and some of the bad stuff that happened. And oftentimes the good stuff is the unsung heroes. It's not always the 3 for 3.
Seabold spears it. 1 away.
I think when you're reinforcing stuff like that, you have a tendency to want to do it more and more. It's just winning baseball. Good changeup turned over right off the end of the bat for out number 1. Seabold, best athlete on the field, stands right in the middle. Adam, you know that.
Oh, all day.
Oh, on that island out there.
All
Keep
by
him on the
himself.
island. If you get off the island, don't touch it.
Stabbing everything.
1 down for Paez. The eternal battle. Here's a ground ball to first. Torkelson is on it for out number 2. And Victor Scott will bat. You assume it's going to be Riley O'Brien coming in for St. Louis if it is, in fact, a 5-3 game. They have not had a chance to deploy the front side of this bullpen in this series so far.
Yeah, this group has been well rested. And look, they have not named a closer. You got 3 guys at the back end. You've seen them, Romero, Stanek, and then Riley O'Brien. This is the way that they wanted it to be. Get a lead, get it to that guy's hands. O'Brien is great. You still love a little 2-out magic if you're the Cardinals. See if you can get something going. But that is how Ollie, Dusty Blake, their pitching coach, wanted to lay it out. Get the ball in their hands late.
That's a strike on a changeup. 1-1 for Scott. Cardinals won 4 of their first 6 before losing the 2 to open the series here in Detroit. Left side, that's a base hit. And Scott, with his speed, could very easily think about turning that into a double with a steal.
This guy's instant offense as soon as you get out there. And there's a couple of things that go into that. Even if he doesn't go, sometimes you speed up the pitcher. First, a look at the swing inside out. You've got your defense shifted over, shoots it through the left side. But you are on high alert with Victor Scott II on first base.
Adam, how do you keep your focus on the plate while also making sure he doesn't have a great, well, that goes out the window. He's on the move already. Dingler's throw is there. He got him.
Wrong guy to run on. Dylan Dingler, Gold Glover. Dylan Dingler behind the plate has an absolute hose, and he just showed it off right here. Best tag man in the game on the receiving end, Javi Baez. Tigers still down 2.
This week on Sunday Night Baseball, Jose Ramirez and the Guardians head to Atlanta to take on Ronald Acuna Jr. and the Braves. Sunday Night Baseball live on NBC and Peacock. Jose Ramirez now tied for the most games played in a Guardians Cleveland uniform over the course of that franchise history, and just a stalwart, totally underrated superstar in Major League Baseball, who we'll see next week against Atlanta. And now Riley O'Brien, the de facto closer for St. Louis, will face 2, 3, and 4 in the Tigers order with a 2-run lead.
It's been a great start. Look, it was he and Jojo Romero sharing some of the closing duties down the stretch. Not going to be easy, though, with 2, 3, 4 in the lineup here for the Tigers. But Riley's got great stuff. Ball moves all over the place. Got that 3/4 arm slot, super sinker, good sweeper off of it.
He'll face Kevin McGonigal, the Tigers' 21-year-old, and he gets him to roll over to first base. Burleson the feed, and there is out number 1 quickly for St. Louis.
Well, there's that super sinker, 98 miles an hour. McGonigal trying to be aggressive early on a fastball, just the perfect spot. Nice feed by Burley.
That's one of those Kevin Brown sinkers. Looks like you're all over it, and then all of a sudden it's on the end of the bat, and it's about 97, 98.
Your hands are buzzing, too.
Oh, McGonigal's hands right now are hurting.
1 down, Gleyber Torres takes ball 1.
I never understood how guys can command that kind of stuff when it's moving all over the place. Is it just set up in the middle?
There are some days where you kind of have to. There are other days where you know exactly what the movement profile is going to look like for you. And that is one of the bigger things with Riley O'Brien. Riley's always had a big arm ever since, he came over from Seattle, but it was the confidence in throwing it within the strike zone. I think that he did start simplifying it. Throw it down the middle, let it move, and then move from there.
Oh, and he let it move. Look out. Pages tried to win the Vezina Trophy. 2 balls and a strike.
Get that plate cleaning robot out after that one.
Yikes.
And this is what's, these back end guys that got huge arms. When you're a hitter and you start seeing guys throw that pitch, and then they'll throw one over your head, and then they dot the corner. You're like, what?
Yeah,
what are we gonna do here?
2-1 is outside. 3-1 for Gleyber Torres.
He'll make you throw him a strike. Oh, Gleyber will. He's had some of the best at bats. He was so good for this young team last year. Just to see what a professional at bat looks like day in and day out.
With 1 out, he's got a 3-1 count, and he grounds it foul. That is a heavy sinker.
Yeah, getting that ball in the air. Come on. How?
Well, that's the biggest key right here, right? 3-2. No free passes. Make him beat you there. You're not going to lift that ball. Keep it at the bottom of the zone. Let him beat it into the ground. That's the thought process of Riley O'Brien.
3-2. Swing and a miss. He came right back with a sinker. 2 down.
At this time at 98, top of the zone. So after the bottom of the zone, raise the eye level a little bit. So let's take a look. Here it is down at the bottom, fouled off at 96, and now this one riding off the fingers to get the swing and miss.
2 gone. Matt Vierling. Adam, as you watch this sinker, where's your mind?
Kevin Brown is a good comparison. He's filthy. Just pound the sinker, make them earn it.
Yeah, it's very tough as a hitter. You got to stay inside, and you almost got to lose the barrel when it's down. Let the barrel come under the ball, which is not natural. And then when it's up, it doesn't have as much action. So you're gonna, if you lose the barrel at all on the one up, you're under it. You're either over it or under it. And that's just for fun. O'Brien's just like, I'll just throw one out there, just kind of mess around a little bit, work on it, work on that little breaking ball.
They say, guess what? I have this too, but as cold as it is.
Yeah, he's going to come right back with a sinker right here.
1-1. That's below the zone. 2 balls and a strike.
Adam, if you threw that hard, would you throw anything else?
Oh, yeah, probably. I mean, I'd still probably throw 50% breaking balls. But, but, man, that would be a superpower, I'll tell you what.
2-1 is low. It's 3 balls and a strike. So twice he's gone to a 3-ball count. He came back to strike out Torres. Ollie Marmol hoping to get win number 5 on his season in that Cardinal dugout.
Serious power on deck, too. Riley Green can hit the ball out to all parts of the ballpark.
Hey. That's a strike. 3-2.
Yeah, he doesn't want to see Green here. Green's one of the few guys, I think, where the swing path matches the plane of that sinker a little bit.
Totally agree, Adam.
So 3-2 from O'Brien. In the air to shortstop. So JC makes the catch, and the Cardinals piece together 5 runs tonight and beat the Tigers by manufacturing offense 5-3 at Comerica Park.
A little bit of small ball getting it done in that one. Details seem to really matter. A couple of plays that weren't made on the Tigers side. The Cardinals able to take advantage of. Andy, good team win.
It was. I mean, the Tigers just didn't play as clean a baseball as they played the last couple days. And St. Louis got a lot of talent. That young talent came out, created havoc on the bases, pitched the ball pretty well, and got out of some tough spots.
5-3 your final score as St. Louis pulls out its first win of the series to avoid the sweep. We'll wrap it up from here at Comerica Park after this. With you tonight.
It was a blast. Thank you for having me in your booth. This was a good time.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Dirks.
Thanks, Jason.
Oh,
Thanks,
always
Brad.
good to see you.
I love your bag, Brad.
Next weekend, Sunday Night Baseball features the Cleveland Guardians against the Atlanta Braves. Coverage begins 7 p.m. Eastern on NBC and Peacock. For our entire crew, Matt Borzello, Corey Newmy, Brad Thompson, Andy Dirks, Adam Ottavino, Dexter Fowler, Ahmed Fareed, I'm Jason Benetti. You've been watching Sunday Night Baseball on Peacock, presented by Capital One. 5.